Bang, we are live. LOL, yeah, very funny. A man of the people. Yep. BK is drowning. BK is drowning. Poor BK. I don't really understand why BK made those wagers. I think he probably wagered with his heart and not his head. You hate to see it. All right, you're welcome, sir. I put you on my TV. W's being on your TV. Love that. I know we've seen people. Shout out Long Beach. Got the board review live in his car in a Tesla driving down the fucking Pacific Coast Highway. We got Lance Comer climbing fucking 1,000-feet cell towers watching the board review. You guys are awesome. W's. What's up, Furl with a sub bank 26-monther? Love to see it. Shout out all the new followers yesterday when I rated iForensic. Appreciate you guys. Wrong mic, sir? What are you talking about? You're using your laptop mic right now? Oh, okay. You are right. Yep, I sound absolute shit. How about now? How about now? Definitely wrong mic. Okay, GG cam mic. Oh no, could you hear anything I was saying, or did I just sound like shit? Is this much better? Check. Is this much better? Okay, W's. Good morning. We are going to be talking college football. Way better. W steak. Sorry about that. We're going to be talking college football week 11. It's so sad that it's week 11. Obviously, we don't want to talk too much politics on here, but we can. I think it's kind of safe to address a little bit of the election results, given how much of an ass whooping it was. I don't really think anybody cares that much. It's kind of like a sports game. It's kind of like a game. If the game was 50-50 and it got called on like a bullshit flag or something, if you came in and you talked about it, you're going to rub some people the wrong way, and you're going to have some emotion and passion and fire come out, and maybe it's going to get a little hostile. Your tweet to BK was incredible. Yeah. Thank you. I like that. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to be over here getting too political or anything, but I know I have a lot of people in my DMs and asking me last night where my head's at. Maybe you appreciate my thoughts. And I think that I can give you my thoughts on a very neutral, down the fairway, grounded perspective, because I am not right. I am not left. I am independent. So I don't really necessarily like pledge my allegiance to any sort of political party. So I think that that's fair. I've voted Democrat. I've voted Republican. I have not voted. But I will tell you this, when it comes to the situation that has happened recently with the political landscape of things, I really don't even necessarily consider myself a Trump supporter. I know some people out here, you've got all sorts of interpretations and opinions of me, and that's fine. Probably think I'm a bro and I like sports, so I'm MAGA, this and that. No, you've got it all wrong. I make my decision independently, and it's different every single election cycle. I do my due diligence. I do a lot of research. I actually have been very tapped into the news. My wife can't believe it sometimes. I've scaled back because it just gets you too riled up, and there's nothing you can do about it. But for a long time, I was on news websites every day. I was watching the news every day. I was literally even watching fucking C-SPAN at times. And I'll tell you this: there was a time where I hated Trump. I really did. I thought he was an arrogant asshole and stupid, and I thought it was going to be a disaster. But then he was president for 4 years, and I got to tell you, I mean, from that time, I don't think everything was that bad. Obviously, COVID hits, whatever, shit gets weird. But even still, in 2020, I'm an open-minded person. I tried to do my research and my due diligence. I watched the primaries. I looked into every single candidate. I also at the time was subscribed to the failing New York Times. And if you guys probably don't remember, but Biden was fair game. They actually wrote a big article about the 94 crime bill, and they did a hit piece on him. They endorsed Elizabeth Warren and Amy Klobuchar. But I'll tell you this, a lot of people every election cycle, they come out of the woodwork, and there's a lot of people who all of a sudden care about politics that really have never paid attention to politics, and they don't do any sort of legwork, just like sports betting. There's no digging. There's no reading. There's no actual effort that goes into it. They kind of just, pick a side that they want to choose, and maybe their friends are doing it, their parents are doing it, whatever. If you vote Democrat because you're a Democrat, whatever. If you vote Democrat because you hate Trump, I can understand. But let me tell you something. As somebody who did a lot of research, and again, an open-minded person who was looking for a Democratic candidate to support, at least to consider, because I try to pick one from each side, weigh the pros and cons, make a decision, just like I do with a sports. I'll stop saying a sports game, just like I do with a game before I make a bet. When I did my due diligence in 2020, let me tell you right now, there was nobody that liked Kamala Harris. Nobody. So I remember that. Okay, because I was very tapped in, and again, I tried to give everybody a chance. Tulsi Gabbard on live television, I watched it, stuffed her in a locker.
and she was done. But then Biden picks her for vice president, and whatever. The vice president is kind of useless at times. Like, who the fuck was Mike Pence, right? Tim Kaine got picked from Hillary, which was a fucking disaster. But anyways, who cares about the vice president? It is what it is. But I'll tell you this: at the end of the day, one thing that I don't like at age 37, the one thing I care about the most, aside from politics, is being fed a bunch of bullshit. That is what I don't like. I don't fucking like being fed bullshit. And unfortunately, I am left with no choice when one side doesn't even, or tries to say that, somebody is a threat to democracy, when you don't give anybody a chance to put forth a vote on who they want to be the nominee for one side. You just can't do that. You're a hypocrite and you're full of shit. So that's all I got to say about that. All right. This guy, I figured there would be somebody in here who would probably be a little bit of a bad apple. So we're going to go ahead and time out that person. If we do it one more time, he's going to be out. So anyways, that was my problem. Again, it wasn't even really that I supported one side more than the other. I just hate bullshit. That's what it comes down to. So, I got to tell you, if you are a passionate Trump supporter, you got to thank this man right here. Trent came through putting Mega Max on Kamala Harris. It was very nice to see all the comments in Trent's DMs, because he deserves it every now and then. That's kind of where I stand. I'm in a way, I didn't expect that to happen. I sort of thought Kamala would certainly have a chance. I thought it was going to be pretty tight, because there are so many people that just hate Trump, and there's so many people that just vote for a certain party because they affiliate themselves with that political party. But I don't think I'm on an island. I think we are the majority here, in the sense that, how can you expect anybody to just be okay with being forced to choose for somebody that they didn't want in this position anyway? I thought Kevin O'Leary actually does a pretty good job of talking politics. He compared it to a team going to a Super Bowl, not having a quarterback, and not even making any attempt to get a quarterback. And then they just pick somebody who's never played a game before in their life and said, this is who we're going to go with. If you were a fan of that team, you'd probably be pretty upset, I would imagine. So anyways, that was my thought. Cam is money with a 5-stream streak. We love that. It didn't seem like Kamala had a shot. No room to support the other Diddy listing co. Yeah, it is. It's actually kind of crazy that Cardi B wasn't enough to save Kamala. It's pretty crazy. Sir, what does it say about our coach Tim Walz that he didn't win his hometown country? And I'm going to tell you where they really lost me. Kim car seats. This will be the last thing I say, and then we'll get into it. Stakes in here. You lost me. You lost me when you tried the Coach Walz bullshit. Stop it with this guy coaching high school football. Stop it with the fucking sports analogies. Come on, man. Don't bullshit me. I just don't like being fed bullshit. This motherfucker is tweeting, we're going into the final quarter. Whoever, if you've watched sports, I've watched sports my whole life. I'm 30 plus years. Have you ever heard someone call it the final quarter and not the fourth quarter? Never in my fucking life. Don't bullshit me. All right. That's it. I don't care who you voted for. I judge people by their character. Just be good people. Treat everybody with respect. That's all that matters. Okay. We're going to get into it. Steak, how we doing? Good morning. And you are back with the upside down Arizona Diamondbacks hat. I have an accusation. Someone stole your hats.
Cash, you mentioning my hat within 10 seconds.
Turn your volume, turn your gain down.
Oh, God.
That's okay. You can do it. Or move the mic back a little bit.
All right. Hold on.
You actually sound pretty good. I think.
How about now?
I think he sounds good. Chat, does he sound good? Say something. Say, how now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow?
You sound great. Ear rape. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like for me. Steak, you are running a pick 6 on my ears right now. RIP AirPod users. Chain Brothers. Yes, I can't thank Steak enough for this chain, by the way. I absolutely fucking love it. Steak, do you go to sleep with your chain on?
No.
Okay. All right. And do you shower with your chain on?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. I'm doing the right thing.
I don't work out with them on either, but I know people that do.
Okay, I haven't done that, but I didn't even think twice about it, actually. All right, good shit. Okay, so cash me talking about your hat in the
Within
first
10 seconds of me getting on here, yeah.
Well, just to be fair, I think having a strong hat game is admirable. I would do it if I could fit in more hats. And I really love your jersey collection. I'm just surprised you only rotate through 3 hats.
I think it's like 6 hats, but it's fine. I'll go buy some more hats, dude.
Hold on. Angels, Diamondbacks, you love the letter A. White
But
Sox.
I have different Diamondbacks. Those are my 3 favorite baseball things to wear for sure.
Okay, then that makes sense. That's why you go to your top 3. I've got the gambling hat, the Detroit hat, and the underdog hat. Those are the 3 I go to. So kind of makes sense, actually. Okay, howdy, fellas. $7.99 a sub now. The fuck is this? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, it ain't us. And W. Freddie Mills, by the way, comes through again. I tailed that one. Did you guys tail that one? Oh no, I didn't. I take it back. Did you take Texas Tech last night?
Yeah.
I saw when he put it out, it was 27.5. And then I think it got up to like 31.
That's where I got it.
Yeah. And you know what? The first time I never really care about CLV. Even the night before, I tailed both his plays, Louisville and something else, and it moved like 4 points. But I said, you know what? I feel like I'm playing with fire if I keep taking these big favorites after the lines move so much. Didn't matter. Can somebody confirm that my 10 gifted? No way. Did we get 10 sub bangs already nice and early? We are live on YouTube. Can anybody confirm? We did. Wow. Level 4 hype train. Who was it? Nutbuster. With a sub bank, 10-monther, creeping on a year with the GOAT. Love you, dude. Thank you very much. Furl, I'm not seeing. Oh, here they are. Logan, they didn't come up on the activity board. Dingleberry 1720 got one. W Posh, SO Daddy, Johnny Wallen, Xander, Jay, It's Jari, Cookie Wesser, Big Man Welks, and Luciano 0306. Love to see it. Good morning, Steak. Happy anniversary, King. What's the anniversary?
Me and my wife. Yesterday.
Oh, okay. Our anniversary is today.
Yeah, I know.
We do this every year, don't we?
Yeah, it's a very dude thing to do, to keep forgetting your anniversary and then remembering it every year.
Very nice. Are you guys celebrating this week or weekend?
We did a little bit of drinks and dinner yesterday, but nothing crazy.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go out tomorrow. Chat, I think I told you guys already. No stream for me the rest of the week. Steak is gonna carry it with Style. I think Thursday and Friday. Is that right?
Yep, I think. Well, hopefully Greg joins us Friday, and Fat Girl is going to join us tomorrow.
Okay, so you're gonna go tomorrow. We're thinking 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Friday you're gonna go early 9, right?
Yep.
And do NBA.
Yep.
Big slate of NBA games on Friday, and then we also have some today. So I think what makes the most sense before Jovan hops on, we give him the benefit of the doubt here because it's an hour behind where he is. So we let him sleep in a little bit, wipe the crusties out of his eyes, and then he hops on a little bit closer to 11. So I'll actually send him the link. Probably be in about 20 minutes. Steak, how do you feel about looking at some NBA in the interim?
I would love to.
Steak, Style, and Eggs. I kind of actually maybe like that name, Steak, Style, and Eggs. Oh, because steak and eggs. Style, steak and egg. Style, steak and eggs. Steak, eggs, and style.
That's a good one. Didn't think about
it. Where is Mid-Major Matt? Mid-Major comes on Fridays, although I don't know. We might skip a week. I'm going to see. Steak, you don't know if you're able to make it for the podcast tonight, right?
I'm most likely not.
Okay. I'm going to see if Matt can fill in for you tonight with Greg and do the pod. So I'll hit him up later. Steak and eggs with Style. Yeah, something like that sounds good. All right. Let's look at this NBA board. Furl gifted another sub bang. W Furl, appreciate you. Let's bring it up. Thanks everybody for being nice and civil for the most part while we address the election. I think Steak, if you listen to my my opening speech, I think that was pretty safe and down the middle. Would you say? I don't think I rubbed anybody the wrong way. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. 7:00. We have got the first slate of games tonight. Matt has, what does this say? Matt has overtime after his Kamala 3-1 ticket. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for coughing right in there. Mid-Major Harris is asleep. Very funny. Pacers, Nukenheimer. All right, we'll get there. First game, Pistons, who are 5-3 ATS, and the Charlotte Hornets. Pistons, a short dog, and the Hornets are -1.5, if that is accurate. Pistons are coming off 2 straight wins after a back-to-back, covered in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 6, and the Charlotte Hornets are coming off 3 straight losses. I mean, if I'm just playing the line here, I'm going Hornets. Is that kind of where your head's at too?
Not really, man. I don't love the Hornets, but I do like the Pistons. I have their season win total over. you're not going to see this game on my card, but I don't think anyone. Okay, I want to make sure I watch my words here.
Okay.
I still don't think people respect the Pistons as much as they should. I think they're better than people think they are. I think they're better than what their win total was. And for the Hornets, they have talent, but I actually like the Pistons team significantly better. So just using my basketball brain, I like Pistons in this game. Like I said, it's not going to make my card, I don't think, but lean Pistons for sure.
Okay. Anybody between these games, because I know you and Style have been doing props and you've been doing pretty well. Chat, if you guys are into NBA and NBA betting, here's the graphic for you. Eggs, bacon, and NBA with Style and steak. I do like that graphic a lot. 9 a.m. Yep. W Snide, graphic maker. And I would tune in. I'm not great on NBA, obviously, but Steak, I think you guys have been doing pretty well on player props. Anybody between these two teams that have been treating you well?
What did Cam just say about Tobias Harris? Because for some reason, Cam is always right about Tobias Harris. I don't know why, but I feel like he's never missed with Tobias Harris.
Really? What a
yeah, I could be crazy. Well, there was one time he told us to take his under. It was like 13.5. He scored 13. I remember the last time he called it Tobias Harris masterclass. I want to say it was against Philly, which makes sense. Obviously, a revenge game. But yeah, he's been right about Tobias every time. For me, I like backing Cade Cunningham a lot, but I don't know exactly how I'd want to attack it yet.
Okay. And total 222.5. Okay. So basketball brain, you're not going for the maybe the wrong team favored here. You'd be Pistons or nothing, but even Beeman, who's a ball knower, says it's an unbettable game. So just stay away.
Yeah, for sure. But I just don't think Pistons have reached the point where anyone would call them the wrong team.
I see. Yep. Okay. I feel like I got bait and switched with CFB headline and you starting with the worst product in sports. Crutch, yeah, but to be fair, I think it's better quality when we have Jovan on here. So we just started early to address, obviously, the entire board. Don't forget, it is the board review.
We're not hard enough on, and I just want to be honest. I know it's going to be a crazy thing to say, but we're not hard enough on the NFL. The NFL is putting out a shit product this year for us to blast everything else. I mean, bro, I can't believe how bad some of the games are. I definitely can't believe that a team can lead a game tying drive to tie a game and doesn't get to touch the ball in overtime. The worst product in sports right now, as it currently stands, is the NFL. 20 teams are bad. And it's kind of crazy. Who's good? Who's good as a player? Like, who's very good as a player right now besides Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson?
I mean, I guess Patrick Mahomes still looks a little shaky, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not good. He has more interceptions than touchdowns.
Jaden Daniels.
Yep, exactly. That's the other answer. Jared Goff.
Yep. The entire Lions team.
We could get to 5 guys, but you're not going to get over 5 guys. Burrow's not there yet, but Justin Herbert's not there.
We're all
Justin Herbert's running a nice system.
Kirk,
dude. Kirk might be number 5, dude.
You make a really good point. And let me just say this. Steak has been a bigger football fan than me, I think, as of late. I have been transitioning. It's kind of funny to say that. Pause. Don't clip that. I have been transitioning from a diehard football guy the last 10 years into hockey. I have been falling in love with hockey. Also golf for the past 5 or 6 years. And I have come to the point where I don't even have a desire. I love going to watch live sports. I love live baseball. You do too. You've always been a big live baseball guy, but you have loved going to football games. You have flown every year to go to a Vikings game or
23 stadiums.
You're doing a stadium tour. I would say at least half the time I give you shit. Like, why the fuck would you want to fly to fucking, Minnesota to watch the Jags or the Vikings play Blaine Gabbert and the Jags? Although I think that was maybe the first game in the new stadium. So I'll give you a pass there. But to have Steak criticize the NFL, that really means the NFL is doing something wrong. And I would agree. It's been fucking rough to watch. It's tough to watch. I don't even know where the blame goes. The officiating is getting worse. The product on the field is getting worse. The coaching is getting worse. If I had to point out one thing, do you think starters need to play in the preseason a little bit more?
Sure. And I'll be honest. I think starters need to play in the preseason, and maybe gambling affects it a little bit. Like, I love gambling, but I don't know. I feel like the NFL was way better before gambling was so mainstream.
But how would that affect how the players play?
I think I'm more talking about, I don't know about how it affects the way the players play. I'm talking about the way we digest it, if that makes sense. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know, a 17-14 game used to be fun. It's not anymore. And I can't remember the last time I saw a really, really good primetime game, unless I'm just drawing a blank. I know that this year I can say I've seen at least 20 absolutely horrible pass interference or holding calls that completely change the football game.
It's actually insane when, you know what I hate? When there's a touchdown, you can't even celebrate. You have to hold your breath to make sure there wasn't a penalty. I think I tweeted this, but I feel like out of every 10 touchdowns, on 3 of them, there's a holding call or a penalty that takes it back. And it happened to us last week.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Bro, it was the worst hold ever.
It was
like,
terrible.
I don't even complain about refs. It was not a callable hold. It was crazy. Like, I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason I've fallen out of love with basketball, because the officials take too much of a role in the game, and it's sad to see that it's happening. They really need to just be there if something blatant happens. It feels like they're looking for something, which really sucks. Sup, DGen and Steak. That Bowling Green last night gave me. Did you give out Bowling Green?
Yeah, I went 0 for 2 in college football and 2-0 in college basketball, but Bowling Green, that was rough.
Yikes. Lost my Bo Nix TD lotto on a hole too, because Bowles pancaked the safety. Shaking my head. Oh, yep, Garrett Bowles.
Yeah.
Tough. All right. Hold on 1 second. Quick corp call. Had the listing 83rd 5 years ago. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. Play the song. Oh, it sounds like Beeman wants us to talk about the Magic. Jeez Louise.
They're next.
All right. Well, let me pull it up. Magic and the Pacers.
This, real quick, I full-heartedly agree with this currently.
I do too. And every year is kind of different. There's been years where college football has been a little rough too, or it's like kind of boring. It's like, oh, there's 3 really good teams and everybody else sucks. But I agree with you. Okay, so the Magic are in a revenge spot here. I remember I wanted to take them against the Thunder and they did not cover. 5.5, 226, 222 up to 226. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that total. If the Magic win, it's got to be because of their defense, does it not?
I would assume so, but what did you mean revenge spot?
Didn't the Pacers beat them? No, they didn't.
Magic beat them, but Magic didn't cover.
Apollo Legacy game. You're right. This is funny. Whose year? Our year. This is funny. Fucking Prime is in the chat starting the wave. That's actually amazing that this is what the streams have come to. Okay. You used to never be a CFP guy. Too many teams, players, but this year has been electric. Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right. Well, Steak, talk to me. It feels like you like the Magic too.
I mean, I'm not being a homer, but just look at the Magic's last 4 games. Is it without Paulo? Just pull them up for me.
Okay. And real quick, yes, just anybody who's come in here. I already had my political rant for a few minutes. We can celebrate that it's over with. I'm very happy to move on. So if anybody cares, you can go back and watch it. Otherwise, we're going to move forward and no more chat about that. The Magic last 4 games. And if anybody's here for college football, Jovan will likely be on in 10 minutes or so, and we'll dig into that. For now, we're doing the NBA. Magic have lost 4 in a row and have failed to cover in 6 straight. I just want to be clear. My expectations for the season are totally down the drain, and I feel like it's over once Paulo got hurt and is out for 4 to 6 weeks. Like 4 to 6 weeks is kind of a big deal. If you're a team like the Magic, like every game matters, especially in the first half of the season, in my opinion. Although that one year they did start like fucking, I don't know, 3-17 and then went on a tear a couple years ago. But yeah, so I guess what's the point you're trying to make here? You think that the Magic are getting a little line respect?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And when I woke up this morning, it was 6.5 and now it's at 5.5. And I can't think of any good reason for that unless the chat can tell me somebody who's out for the Pacers that I was unaware of. But I think the line's short as fuck. The Magic are getting their ass kicked, bro, since Paulo's been out. It's not even close. Like you say, they haven't covered the last 6. They're getting fucking crushed. They look horrible.
Dallas, they were 7-point dogs. I mean, they lost by 30.
Yeah.
But they were 7-point dogs to Cleveland and Dallas. So don't you think 5.5 makes a little bit of sense or no?
No, I don't think so.
Magic spread, DJ. Don't be soft. Fuck. I mean, well, I almost did it against the Thunder and it wouldn't have hit. Okay.
I think tonight, I know, but now you saved a unit.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Give me a player that's going to give me. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he keeps saying that, and I'm good with it, but I would make it PRA personally. I think he's going to score too.
You want a squad ride?
Jalen Suggs or the Magic or both?
One of them. Which one do you like more?
The Magic.
Really, I like the under if in the game if they're going to cover. I think it's got to be defense. All right. Okay, let's do it. Magic it is. Squad ride. Oh, we got to do a squad pod later tonight or later today, not tonight. Okay. Oh fuck, I just closed the tab. All right. So, let's see what's next on the NBA slate. We've got the Warriors and the Celtics. If anybody's been following along, my Celtics first half wagons kind of go hand in hand with their game, I guess. They were 3-0, then they lost 3 straight in the first half, and then they just won the last 2. Looks like they've kind of woken up a little bit. They've done great in the first quarter. Scored less than 90 back-to-back. Yep. Been winning the first quarter, sucking in the second quarter. I think I got to play it blindly until they lose a couple in a row. So I'm going to do that. Steak, do you have any thoughts on the Celtics -6 at home against the Warriors? Total is 230.5.
I have a ton of thoughts. So
Wow.
I woke up and thought it was Steph Curry day. I feel like we haven't had Steph Curry day yet, with the injury and the fact that they haven't had like their big primetime matchup yet. And it's fair to say Wednesday night, no NFL, nothing else going on. Election's over at 7:30. If you're a sports fan, you're probably going to turn on Warriors Celtics. If you give any fucks about the NBA, you don't even have to be the biggest NBA fan. You'll watch Steph Curry play the defending champions. So I liked Steph Curry. And then Fat Girls, I got to give him credit. So it's not me taking credit for this narrative, but he brought up that Steve Kerr didn't play Jason Tatum at all in the Olympics. I don't know if you remember that, but Jason Tatum sat on the bench the entire Olympics. You know me, I'm a big Jason Tatum guy this year. All around big Jason Tatum guy. I think he has a huge year. I think he's in the running for the MVP. So wouldn't it be poetic justice with Jaylen Brown out if he goes nuts on Steve Kerr the day after Kamala Harris loses the election? I just tossed that in there.
That was actually pretty funny. It kind of makes sense too. Jaylen Brown is out?
Jaylen Brown is out.
Is he out for an extended period of time?
That I don't know.
Okay. Not being a homer, Mavs going to kill the Bulls. That's hilarious. Celtics hate Kerr, Steve Kerr and Lib piss. Such a Trent narrative. Love it. Well, Trent's on fire. And he left his boy off the roster and JB isn't playing tonight. Yeah. Oh, he's been out for a week. Oh, shit, dude. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Maybe that had something to do with them losing a couple first halves. Okay. So you like Tatum, but you still like Stephen Curry.
Yeah. Steph Kerr.
I don't know why.
That shit is a mouthful.
I'll be watching the High Point beat the shit out of Coppin, but to each their own. Luke Brannard. Okay, let's move on to the next game here. You know what? I want to
wait. I don't want to move on to the next game yet. So Jason Tatum is 25-1 to score 50. If you want like a fun sprinkle, he's plus 450 to score 40. I'm going off Hard Rock odds, so I'm sure all of you guys can get better odds because I'm stuck in fucking Florida hell. And then I like him to have a triple double, and I like Steph Curry over points.
I think we should do. I think we should do an underdog entry.
Yeah, I think we should too. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. I mean, because these moments, they don't come very often. And if you're right, I want to be there. I think I won the last one. Oh, come on. Fucking, I hate when this does this. Oh, there we go. Look at that account balance, ladies and gentlemen. I know you love to see it. 12 units in there. I was down to $70, chips on the table. And that is because, what did I hit again? Oh, yeah, I hit the old Hopkins, Mayfield, and Rashad White under rushing yards. We love to see that. Okay. Steak. This is going to be the steak lay. All right. NBA. We're going to go, what do we say? Suggs,
PRA.
Suggs, PRA. All right. If you guys want to join and tail on Underdog, sign up, use promo code DGen. You will get 50% deposit match up to $250. All right. There's the PRA, higher than. And then we're going to go square as fuck, but you know what? It's a square kind of night. Celtics. Here we go. We're going Tatum points.
Yeah.
Okay, you hesitated.
Nope. I was just looking what PRA was, but I don't want to get cute with rebounds, to be honest with you. I think he's going to score a lot.
What if he has a triple double?
I know that's what I like that too, but I still think I like points more if I'm being completely honest.
Make an executive decision. We're getting cute.
Okay.
He's gonna have a triple double. I'm gonna bet it.
Okay.
Stephen Curry was what?
I just want to do points on him.
Okay, I like that. That might be it. We're gonna keep going through the board. I like doing 2 to 3 legs because that's where I find the most success. But we'll keep it moving and grooving. Okay. Did you want to move on now, or are you good?
Yeah, now I want to move on. Stephen Curry.
Am I doing that wrong?
I don't know. Stephen Kerr and Stephen Curry is what you said today.
The fucking Steve Kerr thing is throwing me off. Steph Curry, Stephen Kerr. It's fucking Steve Kerr. Who is Stephen?
Nobody.
Okay, I got to stop saying that then. It's really rattling me and throwing me off. Okay, Steph.
Wait,
Curry,
it's not his word. It's not as bad as when Greg says Will Levi's. That shit is crazy.
Why does nobody act like Breesy Hall isn't wild?
That's really bad too. But bro, Will Levi's is crazy. Maybe we should make a poll. What's worse?
I think Breesy Hall. Okay, tell me though, both of those are worse than Rasheed. What did I say? Rasheed Rice?
No, Rashay Rice.
Oh, I was saying Rashay Rice.
Rashay Rice. Very zesty.
It is a little zesty. I don't know where I got it from. Breesy is wild though. Okay, let's keep moving. The next game is the Knicks and the Hawks. Knicks are 7 on the road against Atlanta. Atlanta is 1-7 ATS. Yikes. Total 226. I wanted to square up with the Knicks the other night in Houston. I'm glad I didn't. They lost outright as a 2-point favorite. Any thoughts on the Knicks in Atlanta?
I mean, I really cannot bet the Hawks anymore.
You can't.
Because that one time they covered the spread, I actually bet against them, which is hilarious. Yep. And I honestly think I bet them 4 other times, lost them all.
Yeah, you gotta stop.
When we did our NBA preview show, I told you I like the Hawks. Holy fuck, they're bad. They're so bad. I was so wrong, and I don't think I'm interested in losing any more money on the Hawks.
Okay. All right. I think that's fair. We'll leave it at that and keep it moving. Hawks are god awful. You're tailing this lay on DK. All right, W's. I'll show you what it is again. If you're just joining, if you want to dabble, feel free. Tail at your own risk. These are not guaranteed winners or locks. All right. Spurs and Houston. Houston minus 6.5, total 214. Anything here?
I think I like the Rockets.
I'm okay with that. How the Spurs been doing? Because they were kind of a team that I think got a little bit respect. Oh, they're scrappy.
They did. They were up like they did something crazy against the Clippers. I want to say they won the first quarter 40-14. Oh, and then after that they were out. Yeah, they were outscored by 35 points for the next 3 quarters. 37.
Can I ask you this? Who is balling on the Clippers? Oh, the Clippers are 3-4, so nobody really. Is James Harden balling or no? Not really.
I wouldn't say 3-4 is like the worst for the Clippers, who found out a week before the season that fucking Kawhi Leonard is not going to play at all. Harden hasn't been horrible.
All right, I just want to make sure I don't have any FOMO on not taking Harden to win the MVP.
No, he's not the MVP.
Okay, fine. Lakers and the Grizzlies. You're a Grizzlies guy this year. They are 3-5 ATS. 231 is the total. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-4. Not bad, but they can't beat the fucking Nets, which is wild. Back at home after 2 games on the road. Got the Lakers coming in, and the Lakers are
just got smoked by the Pistons.
Well, lost by 12, but I see what you're saying. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be the 5th and final game of a long road trip before they go back home to play the Sixers. What do you like here?
Lakers.
Okay, simple as that. Good morning, Deej. We'll talk college football here soon. Please stay in the chat and contribute, because we do appreciate your thoughts on the college football slate. All right, Pelicans and Cavs. Anything here? Cavs are fucking wagons. 7-1 ATS. I always kind of like a 7.5 dog. I saw the other night the Pistons were 7.5 home dogs against the Lakers. They won outright. And then the Bucks were 7.5 at the Cavs. But I think that number inflated when they when Giannis or somebody was out.
Yeah, Giannis.
So I don't know what they closed, but I like the 7.5 number. Do you like anything here with the Pelicans? Is this a spot nobody wants them?
I just wait to see who's playing for the Pelicans. That's it. Are they all playing? Ingram, Zion?
Is everybody hurt?
I don't know. I feel like they got kind of switch in and out. I forget the last game I bet the Pelicans, and Zion was a late scratch.
One,
What
two,
game
three,
is
four,
that?
5, 6. They've lost 1, 2, 3, 5 of 6 and not covered in 6 of 7. Coming off an 18-point loss to the fucking Clippers. Jeez Louise. I mean, the Cavs are insane right now. They're insane. Good on them. Good on them. I kind of like some of their guys. Bulls 10-point dogs against the Mavericks. Prime says Mavericks money line is a fucking what's a really big whale? What's a big whale?
Beluga?
Beluga whale. Yep, beluga whale. Minus 495 on the money line. What do you think about the Mavericks minus 10, 236.5? Seems like a high total.
I think it's a lot of respect too. I mean, I think the Bulls are playing good basketball for the most part this year, right?
I actually don't even know.
Definitely exceeded expectations. The Bulls are. Oh, boots on the ground. Nice. That's awesome.
The Bulls are 3-4. They did lose 2 in a row. They lost to the Net. Are the Nets good?
The Nets are playing out of their minds.
Is it Ben Simmons?
No, it's not Ben Simmons. Definitely Cam.
Oh yeah, Cam's a dog. So they don't miss Mikal Bridges.
I mean, they're playing really good. Hey, got to give fat girls his flowers. Dennis Schroeder's fucking playing a fucking plus basketball.
Okay, all right, fair enough. They lost to the Nets, and then they just lost to the fucking Jazz. God damn it! I think I talked about taking the Jazz there. Yeah, you can't trust the Bulls that much. Okay, that's a lot of respect for the Bulls. Maybe the Bulls get their ass whooped. I'd be fine with that. All right, Pete Chewy. OKC 7 points on the road in Denver. Is somebody out for Denver? That is a lot of respect. 6-1 ATS. The fucking Thunder are just wagons, dude. Oh my God, they're undefeated. They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good.
If nobody's out for Denver, which I'm not 100% sure, Aaron Gordon is out. I don't know how much I care about that. Not talking shit about Aaron Gordon. I just don't know if that makes the line make sense. That line, oh yeah, Murray's out. There it is. Okay, cool. That makes way more sense now.
Nuggets?
How's Beeman going to mention Aaron Gordon first?
Yeah,
is it bad that I'm kind of an Aaron Gordon hater a little bit?
No, dude, I am too.
I
mean, we just drafted him way too high. Like he's like a 3rd or 4th guy at best, but he's a very good 3rd or 4th guy.
Yeah, got it. Gordon's the new injury news. Got it. I kind of think the line's now feeling a little short.
I agree. You want to take the Nugs?
Kind of, yeah. I kind of do. They're definitely a dog I like with the Magic today for sure. Those are my 2 favorite dogs, I think.
Okay, I agree. Phoenix 5.5-point favorites at home, total 222 against the Miami Heat. What do you think about this one?
Miami is not a dog I like at all.
Okay, you like the Suns, huh? 2-5 ATS. How the Suns been doing this year? Oh wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-1 straight up. Not covering spreads though. Only covered 1 spread as a favorite. Minus 4.5. So yeah, maybe that is a little bit of respect. Who's balling for the Suns? Is it KD?
I think is Bradley Beal still out? That's definitely a Beeman question. But yeah, KD's been ball. Devin Booker balls every game that I don't bet on him.
Well, he was 3 for 18 last game.
Then I probably bet on him.
Devin Booker going to bounce back tonight?
I'm legit 0 for 3. So if you want to take Devin Booker, you should have me lay off it. I'm 0 for 3 betting his points over.
All right, I'm going to keep this entry a 3-man, but maybe it's Devin Booker and a bounce back. 3 for 18 is wild. I wonder who's matching up against tonight. If there's any basketball brain out there, Beal, game time decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Always LMAO. Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
I'm gonna say, Beeman, this is the first time I disagree with you. I can't tell if you're being the pessimistic fan, but I don't agree with that one. I agree with everything else you said, though.
I'm down to fade the fan. Maybe take the Suns and Mavericks money line. What does Ron call that? The bozo lay. Clippers and the Sixers. Dare I say this line is a little short for the Clippers?
I saw someone. So Paul George is playing, I think.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, and I saw someone say Paul George revenge game, and I don't really get that. What's the revenge? I feel like it would be a Clippers revenge game. No.
Yeah, but keep in mind, don't take the revenge thing too literal. It really just means like a guy's playing against his former team.
I take it so literal. Yeah, Harden revenge. I like the Clippers. I actually love
Harden revenge.
Yeah, I like that way more. I like the Clippers. I absolutely would be so happy fading Paul George. I don't even have to think about it that hard.
Steak. I have it.
You want Harden.
I have it. I have the parlay. Do you, just ask me this. Do you feel like getting rich tonight?
Yes. You're going to put 1,000 on it, right? The only way we get rich, dude.
No, it's not. Hear me out.
Okay.
Just hear me out for a second. Jason Tatum.
Yep.
Triple-double. 14-1. Parlay. What do you laugh?
That's what Jason Tatum's
so
triple-double
today.
14 to wood. 14-1.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm taking that shit.
Keep going.
I am. Hold on.
The chat's funny, dude. That's why I laugh.
Okay, you're laughing at the chat. I know.
Yeah, I can turn off the chat if you want.
No, I like that you look at the chat and laugh at the chat, but can you just reference what you're laughing at? Because I'm missing the joke.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Who did I just say? Devin
You
Booker?
said only thing I heard was Tatum triple-double.
Oh, no. Harden. Please hold. Dude, this is it.
Okay.
It's plus
Go.
750.
Go.
This is the get rich parlay of the night. $25 to win 3,160.
Can you run it through one more time? Run it through one more time.
It's literally two fucking players. Pay
James
attention.
Harden to
Stop
do what?
looking at the chat.
Okay, fine. Tell me what James Harden's doing.
Jason Tatum,
Triple-double.
triple-double.
Yep.
James Harden, triple-double.
Okay.
We've got Jason Tatum going against fucking Stephen Kerr
Yeah.
in a USA revenge game. And we've got James Harden, like you just said. It's like that meme where the guy's walking with the girl, but he's looking at the other girl. He's walking with the girl, Paul George revenge game, but he's looking at the other girl. James Harden revenge game. You literally just said that.
Yeah. What's the bet? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
James Harden, Jason Tatum, triple-double parlayed. 25. It's 126-1. You don't seem to be into it, but I feel
I am very into it. I love it.
Do you want? I'm going to put it in for you. How much do you want on?
1,000.
How about we go 25 each?
All right, deal.
This is it's my anniversary present to you and your wife. And then I'm going to tell my wife this is her anniversary present too. All right. $50 pays 6,325. In all seriousness, don't look at the chat. Don't laugh. Shoot me straight. Do you think this has a chance of winning?
Yes. I do.
Hold on. I got to screenshot it. And I'm going to send that to your wife and say happy anniversary.
Okay. Thanks for that. I get busy. I took him to do 50, 25-1.
Oh, I have another parlay.
Okay.
This one is more legs, but I think it has as good of a chance of hitting. This might be my coming out party for NBA lottos. This is the time. These moments don't. You ever do you listen to the Killers?
Yes.
You just say yes to everything. I never hear.
Yeah, I've heard everybody knows Mr. Brightside. If you want me to name more Killer songs, it might be tough.
I think it's a Killer song where he says "once in a lifetime." That's kind of what I feel about this moment right now.
No idea what song that is.
Okay, I'll find it later. This is all because of you too. All right, this is the parlay. You ready? We're going Jason Tatum 40 plus. We're going Steph Curry 35 plus. We're going you want to put Jalen Suggs in this or no?
Don't we already have him in our underdog, or is this a new one or the same one?
This is a points parlay, points only. We're gonna put Devin Booker in there too. How about that?
Yeah, I don't want to put Suggs in that one.
All right, Devin Booker 35 or 40. 40 is 14-1.
Yeah,
35
is good. I think this parlay is gonna be plenty juicy.
All right, this pays 132-1. I'll put $10 on it for each of us. That's to win $1,300.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, chat. I'll post that later and I'll put it in the Discord too. Send Prime the link to consult. Yep. Can we bring Prime as a professional consultant? Yep. Did I not send Jovan? Oh yeah, I sent Jovan. Feel free to hop in anytime, brother. We're just shooting the shit until you're ready to go. Almost 11 o'clock. We're on the last game. And here we go. But if he's not in here, we can rock and roll regardless. Last game, Steak. That looks like a lot of points for the Sacramento Kings, does it not?
Yeah, the Raptors are fucking awful.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, you love the Raptors.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You love the Raptors. You have a Fred VanVleet jersey, which is embarrassing.
Paying you to say this? You sound like Fat Girls right now. You sound like Fat Girls has fucking crawled into your brain and is controlling the fucking functions. I'd go over here. Yep. Raptors have covered like 100 games in a row. They are 7-1 ATS. What are you shaking your head for now?
I guess I was wrong. You love the Raptors. Yeah, RJ Barrett has been balling.
Well, to be fair, no, I'm not an RJ Barrett guy. To be fair, everybody tried to tell me to take the Raptors over wins. That shit ain't hidden, but maybe I should have been taking the Raptors to be covering spreads. L Court meeting. I'm going to have to rip the pod audio later. Shout out JP Del Frio. All good. Yes, if you do miss the stream, I do download the audio and put it to the podcast. Go to Apple, go to Spotify. It's called The Board Review. You can find it. It says DGen. You listen to you can catch up to the board review always. And I see you guys listening on the weekends. We love that. And also don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. Plays will be out Friday morning as always. Also, Freddie Mills. I got to give Freddie Mills a shout out real quick because he's just been on fucking fire. And we have been featuring his plays on our website, but his Twitter is public. Make sure to go give him a follow. He's over 2,500 followers. Let's go. We love to see that. Raptors have been super impressive, keeping it every single game close without their second best player. Okay. Nuggets should be winless. All right. W's.
Doesn't it kind of make you like the Kings, what everybody's saying?
Yes. I said that's a lot of points. So that's a lot.
I'm going to be honest, just straight hand up. I had no idea the Raptors were doing that against the spread whatsoever.
That's okay. I don't hold you accountable to know what the Raptors are doing ATS. We have a lot going on.
I should.
All right. Jovan, good morning. How we doing?
What's up?
Looking at I always like to look at your jerseys. Kind of looks like you haven't switched it up too much.
No, I didn't switch them yet.
Oh, you haven't switched them at all. Okay. Speaking of the NBA board, I know you've been tapped into the NBA as well. Is there anything that you've looked at that you like after we just went over it? And then I guess we'll recap our best bets before we go to college football.
Yeah, I think I want to do it with the Warriors.
Ooh.
Winning outright on the road against the Celtics.
Winning outright?
Yeah.
No Jaylen Brown. You don't care?
No, rare situation where I'll kind of buy bad news because he's been out for a couple games now, so it's not the first.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I want to go to the Warriors. I feel like I love the narratives on both sides. I feel like it's going to be a back and forth game. I think Steak said too. It's not much else going on, but the NBA today, you got a primetime game between two teams that are absolutely rolling this season. Steph's going to be back and healthy, it seems like, after getting ramped up the last couple games. I think I'm in.
Okay. We're good with that. And then Jovan, before we transition to the college football slate, Beeman is asking, ask Jovan about his thoughts on the Heat. Beeman is a Suns fan and he likes the Heat. Steak likes the Suns. And we're going to take Devin Booker in a bounce back game after going 3 for 18. Any thoughts on your Heat tonight?
I'll say this. They've been a really weird and slightly painful watch, but not just this year, but it always comes at home. That's where they've been absolutely pitiful. And they just lost on a buzzer beater at home in a game that they had absolutely no business losing. So I feel like they're going to go on the road. They go on this weird road trip where it's they go to Phoenix, they go to Denver, they go to Minnesota, and then they start the in-season tournament. So I feel like this is a game where they kind of get it going. So I was debating putting the Heat on my card too. But
wow,
I do already have the Warriors, which are also, I think, a similar spread road dog.
Good point. Very fair point. Okay, Steak, final thoughts. What's your favorite NBA bet tonight as of now? Magic?
Magic, Nuggets.
Kings?
Mavs? One short favorite we like. Oh, I like the Clippers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You like the Clippers. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where you stood there. Okay, gentlemen, let's get to it. We've got 2 games tonight. Looks like we got Northern Illinois, Western Michigan. We have got Northern Illinois as a 2-point favorite, total 52.5. And we have Ohio, 19.5, total 53 against Kent State, who we, is it Kennesaw or Kent State that we know is absolutely terrible?
Kennesaw. But Kent State is
terrible.
They're
Kent
both
State,
terrible.
I think is also winless.
Oh my God, they are winless, and they're not even really covering spreads. They just got their ass kicked on the road. Now they're turning around and coming back home in Ohio. For what it's worth, I probably shouldn't even be spending a second on this, but they did just beat the absolute fuck out of Buffalo. So, Steak, we'll start with you real quick between these two games. You don't have to force it. You're shaking your head. Nothing.
Call the number if you bet.
Jovan, any thoughts on these two games?
Yeah, I got to be honest too. I got absolutely nothing for these
Okay.
two games.
For what it's worth, I just got an action notification as of this second. Crabs locked in Northern Illinois on the money line -114. Yeah, no real thoughts on there. I'm down to not force it. Let's go to tomorrow night. Appalachian State, short favorite on the road against Coastal Carolina, and FAU. Those fuckers. Nice job there, Jovan. I was glad. I felt like we were squaring up. Steak, you as well. We all kind of aligned. Didn't overthink it there with USF beating FAU.
I just want to be clear, just so I can call myself out. And when we did this, I actually liked FAU, and you guys convinced me to take USF. So thank you.
That's true. You were based off of the line, because I think you were also kind of thinking that 2.5 was a little bit short, which I agree too, because FAU had not been really impressive at all. But then Jovan pointed out it's a backup quarterback. I totally forgot about the revenge narrative, and then I just didn't even overthink it. I'm like, Golish against Herman. Did you guys see the clip, by the way?
Awesome.
Oh, so fucking cool, dude. I despise Herman. I kind of want to just lay it with ECU. But real quick, we'll go one game at a time. Steak, any thoughts on App State and Coastal?
Not really, no.
Jovan?
Not too much. Coastal's been kind of bad recently. Feels like the bottom's kind of fallen out. And I think the last couple of years I saw they've won on some ridiculous endings and close games the last couple of times when they've been a little better against App State. So maybe slight revenge narrative when App State's playing a little better than them. But it's about all I got.
Okay, that works. Don't need to force anything. And then ECU, is anybody going to talk me off of just like not hammering? Well, I'm not even betting on ECU, but I kind of just want to fade FAU. Like you had to get up for that game at home against not really an in-state rival, but an in-state team. And now you have to go on the road against ECU. What is ECU doing? I don't even really know. Does anybody know what ECU is doing? They're 5-3. ATS.
Beat the shit out of Temple. I know that.
Well, but Steak always says every fucking week, Temple's
everybody does.
We're so bad.
Yeah. Well, they took care of business. They did lose to Army and Charlotte. Oh God, they lost. I forgot they lost outright to Charlotte. I like ECU. Anybody gonna talk me off of ECU -7.5?
Not going to talk you off, but not going to join you either.
Okay, that's fair, Jovan.
If Cam Fancher has no faders, I'm dead. So nothing from me.
Okay. All right, let's move. Oh no, there's another game on Thursday. Cal and Wake Forest. Ooh,
there it is.
There it is. Cal and Wake Forest. Man, Cal back on the road. Guys, we've never seen this before with a former Pac-12 team having to do this kind of travel. So they've gone to the East Coast now. Let's see. They've gone to Auburn, back home. FSU, back home. Pitt, back home. Now, granted, they were back home for 2 weeks. Now they're getting back up and they're going to Wake Forest. I mean, it's a lot of fucking miles on these college kids. Does anybody want to fade them with Wake Forest outright? Jovan?
I think it's insane that Cal's laying a touchdown on the road.
Damn.
Personally, that's what I think. But I think this game, I kind of like the under regardless. I think it's going to be low and slow. And Cal's pass defense is really good. So, like, anytime they've had, like, a team try slow mesh or, like, anything down the field that takes years to develop, they've been really, really good against it. And when they have gone to the East Coast too, granted, I don't know if you can really say Wake's offense is all that much better than Auburn or FSU's, but those games have both been absolute snooze fest, dominated by defense. I don't think that's any bit of an accident. So I like the under, if anything.
You kind of make an interesting point. Now that I look at it, Wake Forest has won 3 out of the last 4 games, and they were just a favorite in their last 2 games. So seeing them as a 7-point dog at home is a lot of respect for Cal. Steak, would you agree on that?
Both
I like Cal
too, I believe.
You like Cal. All right. I'm going to be. Does Cal have a good defense?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that, Steak?
They have a good defense. I feel like there's like they take quarters off, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like the 4th quarter against Miami, a couple quarters against NC State. But yeah, they have good defense.
All right, I'm probably going to go on the under, or I'm going to go Wake Forest team total under and get cute and probably regret it and bitch about it. All right, let's get into Friday night. What do we have here? We've got 3 games, Rice and Memphis. Memphis 9-point favorites. Is that a lot of respect against Rice? Let's see what they're doing.
So remember when I told you about UTSA, how they lost that brutal game to Tulsa?
Yes.
And of course they come back and win outright against a Memphis team that's actually was playing really good football. I think they were 7-1 going into that game. So UTSA beats them outright. I know me and Jovan have both agreed that Rice is terrible. Or do you agree with that, Jovan? Or
I did, but since the bye week, they've been playing a lot better. The defense is better, but they did just fire their coach last week, and then they beat Navy afterwards. So, I mean,
dude, how did we not play that? Did we say that there was a fire about it?
I think so, yeah.
Damn, I do not remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I don't know. We might not have talked about the coach firing narrative.
That's what I mean.
We definitely talked about the line.
Yes.
That one like 14-11.
Oh, we talked about the game. I remember that. I just don't remember saying anything about the coach being fired. Oh, well, I'm not going to fucking sit here.
It might not have happened on Wednesday, maybe. I think
that's true.
I think it might have been late.
Well, do we fade Rice after an outright win as 13-point dogs?
I do.
Memphis is 9.5-point favorites. Totals 52.5, and Memphis just lost to UTSA 44-36. Okay.
What do you think, Jovan?
My gut says Memphis should be the play, but I feel like it makes a lot of sense. And with the line hanging at 9 with Memphis at home, I know like Rice is coming off a win, so maybe that's baked in a little bit against Navy, but that line at Memphis still feels absurd because like I'm the same person who thought the line was short when Rice went to Tulane and they're 24-point underdogs, and I took that. So like seeing 9, it doesn't feel right taking Memphis for me.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Can move on to that one. I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about Rice and Memphis, but I am considering hammering Memphis. All right, Iowa and UCLA. I'm going to tell you what I think about Iowa. I don't think they're very good, but nevertheless, I do have to give them their flowers. I looked at this game and I said the fact that Iowa was laying 3 with how Wisconsin had been playing, it gave me a bad feeling in my stomach as somebody who backs Wisconsin often and has Wisconsin's over win total. What I ended up doing late that night was saying, if Iowa wins this game, that means Wisconsin ain't going to score shit. So I played the under. I played the under 40.5. And I think at halftime it was like Iowa 28-3. So the read was pretty good, but holy shit. I could not believe that Iowa scored that many points. They were out for blood. I got to give him credit. Jovan, I think you mentioned on the stream that Iowa was rotating quarterbacks or at least trying new quarterbacks because McNamara was out. I looked at the box score, I think, at halftime, and I think they only went with one guy.
For one, because he was rolling.
He was rolling. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at is, and tell me if you guys like this read or don't like this read. I think there might be something there with Iowa with this new spark. And the last time they went on the road, they put up a fucking stinker at Michigan State. They lost outright as 6.5-point favorites. And now you have this UCLA team that's playing pretty fucking good. They've won 2 in a row at Nebraska and at Rutgers. Iowa on the road, again, as the 5.5-point favorite. I think UCLA is going to be a trendy home dog. It was 5.5. It's down to 4.5 at FanDuel. I think I want to buy low. I think I like Iowa, and I think I like Iowa in a fucking rout. Steak, what do you think about this?
Well, I like Iowa too, but I'm not sure how low you're buying because they just beat the shit out of Wisconsin last week.
I mean is just based off the spread going 5.5 to 4.5.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then I agree with you. I like Iowa, but I disagree overall with you about Iowa. I actually think they're pretty good. Loss to Michigan State was bad, but if you removed it, wins against Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Washington, with your only loss in there being to Ohio State, looks pretty good, considering the fact that you were struggling to figure out who your quarterback was. I think Iowa is above average and better than those teams they beat, like Minnesota, who's getting a lot of love, Wisconsin. So do I think it's a good sell high spot on UCLA after I don't think anybody thought that coach from UCLA was going to be able to go into Lincoln and win. I know Nebraska is nothing special, but I don't think anybody thought, or very few people thought, I should say, that he was going into Lincoln and winning a football game, regardless of how bad Nebraska is. And so, yeah, he's kind of getting it going, at least making a little case for himself, and I would sell them here.
Yeah, and it should be mentioned, Iowa should have also probably beaten Iowa State, who is pretty fucking good this year.
Yeah.
All right, Jovan, what are your thoughts on this game? Do you align, or are you going to disagree here?
No, kind of a line. Back of my head, maybe a little worried that I know UCLA's run defense has been pretty good, and especially against teams that really can't throw the ball all that much. They've been good, but I feel like Iowa just wears them down, and I'm kind of with you guys. I don't want to bet UCLA.
Okay. Yeah, I like Iowa. That might be a stake for the newsletter. That might be a Friday night special if you're okay with it. Friday night bonus play. We'll talk about that off camera. Real quick, by the way, Luke Brennard in YouTube gang. I am an Iowa fan, and although optimistic, kind of lean UCLA. Love to hear it. They have a top run defense, and that's Iowa's offense. Maybe an under finally hits. Yeah. Also, for what it's worth, I have played UCLA team total twice this year. Last week against Nebraska, and then also against Penn State, which I think they fucked me on the final drive. 0 for 2. Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time an Iowa team, or I'm sorry, a UCLA team total under comes through. Okay, good discussion on that, gentlemen. Let's keep moving. New Mexico at San Diego State. I don't really have any thoughts on either of these teams. Do you guys? Doesn't look like you do either. Total 67 seems pretty high. That might be the only thing I look at here. San Diego State, I mean, they haven't seen a total higher than 57. Maybe that's because New Mexico puts up a fuck ton of points.
Yeah, look at New Mexico's totals.
They probably get 70s, don't they? Yeah, 78. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So you're kind of meeting in the middle there, maybe a little bit more skewed to New Mexico. Maybe you see some offense, but I don't know. That would make me, just correlating the line and the total, maybe make me lean a little bit San Diego. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. All right. Are we into Saturday now? What was that? Yep. That was the last one. All right. Saturday, noon slate. Week 11, Texas State, Louisiana Monroe. I don't have anything. Do you guys care to go straight to Florida, Texas? That is a fucking doozy.
Sure. Right. I think Texas State kind of back to getting to be trendy again. Would you disagree, Jovan? Who they beat last week? They had a big win last week.
No, they lost a couple in a row.
Oh, they lost. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry.
That was a midweek game where they were trendy, I believe.
Oh,
Louisiana
you're
game.
Right. You're right. I remember that. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, and I like fucking Louisiana. Yeah, I got you. Then maybe this line's strange to me. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but I don't know. 7 on the road
seems like a lot.
ULM is one of those teams that's like they're like sneaky group of 5 Vandy. They just covers dogs a lot.
Dude, man, Texas State. Texas State has been a favorite in every single game. In the last 2, 10.5 and 4.5 point favorites, they lose outright. I think to be laying 7 on the road is a lot of respect, but
I don't know. All the sharps got burned on Texas State too, and I don't know that they would go back this week. That's all.
I don't think so either. ULM is 6-2. Javon's right; they do cover. I don't know. Yeah, I might do it. We'll see how we're feeling.
Also, last thing, the thing everybody remembers ULM doing this year is winning as an 18-point dog to James Madison, right? That was them.
Yeah,
that was them.
I kind of like Texas State.
Okay, fair enough. Jovan, great call on Gators. Gators are 21.5 point dogs against Texas. There have been 2 times now that your reads have kept me off of something that I've liked and gone against you. SMU at Duke, and then I wanted to hammer Georgia. I thought it was going to be a fuck you smash spot against Florida last week. I did dabble with the first half team total over, which was terrible because they only scored like 6 points, I think. But then they ended up pushing their full game team total with 34. Sucks to see Lagway get hurt. I think Stake said it, and I agree. I think Florida had a chance to win that fucking game if that doesn't happen. Their heads have got to be down after that game. And also playing Georgia and then playing Texas immediately after is not easy. There's a lot of points. I have no choice but to lean Longhorns here. We'll end with you, Stake. Jovan, do you have any thoughts on Florida, Texas? You've also got a pretty good feel on Texas, I feel like.
Yeah, somewhat. I'd say I definitely have a lot better feel on Florida because I've been betting them the last couple of weeks.
True.
Maybe the heads are up a little bit because DJ Lagway, they said he might be playing. He's not going to play, but he at least might be back for the next couple games against Ole Miss and LSU, which would be huge because that's where I'll be nuking Florida in both of those games. But Aiden Warner, I was sitting there with the 14 plus 14.5 plus 16.5 ticket and ML ticket. Not that it mattered, but he might be the worst quarterback I've seen with 2 eyes. So Texas in a little bounce back spot here. I don't know that anybody in the world is going to bet Florida, and I really don't think it's going to matter if he's playing quarterback because he is awful.
Steak.
Yeah, it was really tough watching Aiden Warner play quarterback. I didn't want him in the game ever. Obviously, that was the worst thing ever. I really did think we were going to win that game. I'll be honest. There was definitely a point where I was like, oh, wow, the defense is balling and fucking Lagway's calm, and we're going to win this game. I guess I want to give him credit because, like, I don't know. I feel like he was sort of well composed, given the fact that being 18 years old, kid who both your parents are Gator alum and your fucking first game is in the largest outdoor cocktail party against probably the best team in the country and your biggest rivals. I did think he stayed well composed, but holy fuck, he was tough to watch. The best throws he did make in the game were at the end of the game. I'll say that. But man, if he's playing, I just simply football brain don't see any way that Texas isn't winning this game by 30.
Yeah, might have to be done. I really haven't had a lot of success betting big favorites in around this number this year, but how does Steak feel about drinking the Oregon Kool-Aid? Yeah, for what it's worth, I think Kool-Aid is with a K, but Steak, we can talk about that briefly. You got to be feeling pretty good about Oregon, right?
I feel great about Oregon.
Okay, well said.
Yeah, I do.
Jovan, do you have any investment in Oregon this year?
No,
I was a doubter. Yeah, I was a doubter.
I was like kind of in the middle. I didn't want to I felt like they wouldn't reach their ceiling, but they would still be really good. They might reach their ceiling.
Yeah. My only reason that I didn't fade Oregon, aside from not wanting to go directly against Steak, but I have no problem doing that. I would do it. I've done it in the past. I'll do it again. Fuck him. I respect Dan Lanning. I really do. I like Dan Lanning a lot. I would say, I mean, is he up there with the top head coaches in college football?
Yes.
Has to be, right? Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Miami. Oh my God. Do I want to fade Miami here? 11-point favorites on the road against Georgia Tech. I just see this matchup as being such a weird spot for the Hurricanes. And I don't even know. I'm gonna tell you right now. Is it a look ahead spot in any way? Do they have another big game on deck? Not really. No, they actually go into a bye. They go into a bye. But man, this stretch for Miami has been so interesting. Starting with Virginia Tech, almost losing, going to Cal, cross country, almost losing. Yeah, you got a bye week, but you got to get up immediately after. Playing a tough game here, then playing your rival. I know they're terrible, but it's still FSU. Then it's Duke. And you might say, oh, Duke is fucking terrible, but you have a Manny Diaz revenge narrative in there that you also don't want to slip up and lose. And they were trailing in that game for a good majority of that game. I had a fucking Miami minus 20.5 ticket. Oh, I just said I don't have good luck. I just got good luck. I feel very fortunate that they were able to cover in that game. I think that this just end of the road for Miami after that long stretch is such a bit of a letdown spot before they go into a bye week. Georgia Tech with 11 also feels kind of short to me. I don't know. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong here. Total 64. Steak, do you have any thoughts on Miami, Georgia Tech?
So, God, I want to make sure I remember this right. Do you remember this game last year, Jovan? Was this the one where Cristobal fucked up? Do you know what I'm talking about? What did he do?
Yeah, swear he didn't kneel the ball out.
He didn't kneel it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. And what did Georgia Tech run a fumble back or something?
Hail Mary.
Well, yeah, it was they recovered the fumble and then it was the crazy Hail Mary the next play where it wasn't Hail Mary defense for whatever reason.
It was like a long post route. The guy caught it going across the field and scored with 20 seconds left or something.
I was a Miami backer last week and I feel so lucky. And I was just thinking of the average gambler who bet Miami last week and somehow won that unit. And they're thinking fuck yeah, I'll roll my winnings onto Miami minus 11 against shitty ass Georgia Tech, who's been bad for a month and a half now. This shit feels like one of the easiest lines of the week to me, Miami minus 11 personally.
I mean,
no business, Dave. None.
For what it's worth, there are two things. D Wade is saying 14-11.
Yep.
The opener was 14.5 down to 11.5. I don't love being on a side that's that sharp too much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've totally forgot
Could
about
be
this.
because Haynes King might be playing. It
Okay.
sounds like I've been looking for the reports and the press conferences, and the coach is making very odd statements, like he's trying to gatekeep that he's healthy and playing.
What's the point? Like, what's the point when you're in the position Georgia Tech's in?
Georgia Tech
I don't
just
know.
lost 6-21 at Virginia Tech. Before that, they lost to Notre Dame on a neutral. Before that, they had a road game. I mean, they've been on the road the last 3 weeks. And well, they did beat UNC. I should mention that, and Duke.
Bye
I
week
don't-
too.
Yeah, I think that line is crazy short. Personally, Miami probably gets the win, but I think Georgia Tech might be a tough one with the cover. Jovan, did you say if you had a lean in this game? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I think I want to take Georgia Tech. I mean, this line is moving literally exactly the way the Navy Rice line moved. And maybe it's a little more injury related if it does end up being that they didn't know that Haynes King was going to be active and maybe the news came in. But yeah, I feel like I have to get involved. I was also a very lucky Miami backer for the first time last week. So I will not be rolling my winnings over.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's keep moving. Navy, USF. I got my USF unit last week. I'm good on not giving it back, and I don't really want to fade Navy after a loss. We'll just go around the horn quickly here. Steak, any thoughts on this? Total 57.5.
Pretty simple. I think I lean Navy.
Okay. Jovan?
Probably in Navy, but won't be betting.
Okay. Syracuse and BC. So last week with Syracuse, Virginia Tech, I liked Virginia Tech. I thought they were going to be road warriors. I think they got up in that game and were in control. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think Syracuse stormed back. Virginia Tech just fell asleep and Syracuse won like 38-31 or something. So it's always those games you think about playing, you don't play, and you like to see what happens. So fortunate to have stayed off that. Syracuse, I now feel like maybe I don't have a great read on this team. 2-point dogs in BC. My initial my first reaction here is Boston College as a short home favorite. We'll switch it up a little bit. Jovan, do you have anything on Boston College, Syracuse?
Love BC. That's
You
one
do?
of my favorite plays. One of my favorite plays of the weekend. But Syracuse, I wouldn't beat yourself too much over that one because it ended up being that they're playing Virginia Tech without Drones and Tootin. I mean, they're RB1 and QB1. So
yeah.
Got it.
It was a really weird game. It was honestly crazy that VT was up in that game to begin with. But then Syracuse stormed back. Miraculous win. Boston College, I think they lost 3 straight going into the bye week. And now they're coming off a bye week where Thomas Castellanos, the QB, also was pretty banged up the last couple weeks. Seemed like more than they were telling us. So I'm hoping he got some time to get healthy. It's been like an issue that they're not letting him run for like the same shit. He's trying to be a pocket quarterback a little more. So like now that they're getting him healthy off a bye week, I feel like they're going to unleash him a little bit because like last year he also ran like 15 times against Syracuse. So it might be more of the same, but I like BC to come off the bye and get a win. A little Syracuse letdown.
I do have to say, you guys know how I feel about bye weeks. I don't like betting on teams after a bye week. And
You've converted me into the same way of thinking too. But I feel like when it's health related, I like to buy in.
Yeah, no, I agree. There are definitely times where I think it still makes sense. And I always remember my younger self when, I don't necessarily, I'm not saying like I'm a great sports bettor by any means, but I do think I've learned a lot over the years. And in my early years when I was a bit more of a prime, I think one of the easiest things to look for as like an edge is like, oh, this team is off a bye. They have an extra week to prepare. It always makes you think that team has an advantage. And then you would think it's a cheat code. And then you bet it and you're like, well, fuck, I keep losing. Clemson, perfect example. Clemson came out of a bye week and looked like fucking idiots. Chicago Bears came out of the bye week and looked awful in Washington. So I agree with you, though. I like it here. And I also kind of like fading Syracuse, I think, in this spot. Steak, do you agree about BC?
Yeah, I love BC. They were on my initial leans when I tweeted my way too early leans. I absolutely love BC.
Awesome. Okay, sounds good. Maybe that's a official play in the newsletter moving forward. Okay. We're still on the noon slate, so I realize it's 11:27. I think we're doing okay. Jovan, behind the lines, running at 12:30. Feel free to hop off whenever, though. We'll be sure to tune in afterwards. Steak, as always, appreciate the time. Minnesota at Rutgers. Steak, does our Rutgers? Oh, you know what? I ended up realizing I did not tell you on this, which is hilarious because I bitched at you, I think, for 4 weeks.
I'm not on it either. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was 5.5 win total. Everybody was betting the over because of their schedule. Rutgers has come back down to earth. 6-point dogs at home, though. Minnesota's been good. 7-1-1 ATS. I don't know. Does this feel a little light? Minnesota just went on the road and beat Illinois, beat the shit out of Maryland, went on the road and beat UCLA. This is a 4-game winning streak for Minnesota. Steak, you were just talking about Minnesota. Did you play them at Illinois, by the way, or no?
No, but this game does have a narrative I want to pitch because there's a guy that I hate playing quarterback for one of the teams, and now he's facing his old team, and I don't know that I can miss my opportunity here because I bring it up every time we talk about Rutgers, I think. But
We do.
Haliak Manis, I'm bad at pronouncing his last name. I honestly don't care if I ever learn his name. We will not see him playing on Sundays. He'll be on LinkedIn very soon. He's fucking horrible. And I don't care if it's sharp or square or whatever. I don't think this guy's capable of a big revenge game, and I like Minnesota to beat their old quarterback.
Okay, fair enough. Jovan?
Kind of like Rutgers. I don't think I'm going to get there, though. Like, it's another bye week situation where I think it is more for stopping the bleeding for Rutgers rather than another team. I guess you could use an example, like halting their momentum or whatever. So now they're getting a bye week after coming back from the West Coast where they got absolutely trampled. So maybe there's something there. Maybe the defense locks in because they've been pretty porous. Not the Rutgers defense I think a lot of people expected. So I don't know. I want to play something backing Rutgers. I just don't know if it can be them. Maybe it's just the under.
I think that's fair. I kind of like the under too. Yeah, and that quarterback for Minnesota, I directly threw them last year. I think there were some sweaty moments for sure. But he was awful. And that's some of the reasons I like betting on futures, and you follow a team, you get to learn the players pretty well. But they had an awesome running back at Minnesota. Do you guys remember that? Ibrahim? Do you remember that guy?
No, Ibrahim.
Yeah. He was fucking awesome. I don't know if he's in the NFL, but he was great. Okay. Purdue and Ohio State. I thought I commented on Stucky's tweet. I don't know if you guys follow him or not, but I thought this line looked a little short after Purdue lost to Oregon 35-0 at home. Ohio State coming off the big win against Penn State. Not that they really dominated or anything, but I think the right team won that game, and I think we were all on it, so that's great. But Purdue 38, I mean, it says 55% of the spread on here. I take this with a grain of salt. I don't really factor it into anything, but is anybody taking 38 with Purdue? I think Purdue is fucking terrible. They barely scored 20 points against Northwestern at home. They got very lucky on that over. And then I'm going to go take a piss. So after that, it's West Virginia, Cincinnati. If you guys can just carry it real for a few minutes. Steak, we'll start with you. Purdue, Ohio State, and West Virginia, Cincinnati. Any thoughts?
I think my only pushback for you is, has Ohio State scored 38 points this year?
Well, before I go take a piss, let me go answer your question. Yes, they scored 50 the first 3 weeks, 38 against Michigan State, 35 against Iowa, 31 against Oregon. But the last 2 weeks offensively has not been good.
I don't think the line is short at 38. I know Purdue's fucking awful. It's just 38 points. It's 5 touchdowns and a field goal. And I don't think like anyone's so crazy about Ohio State's offense or Will Howard. Even last week, like obviously big win, but holy shit, like the couple Will Howard mistakes were crazy. So no, I don't think I would call this line short at all.
Kind of with you. I just like what I've seen from the Purdue like the last couple weeks. Like I wanted to buy in, and I did like last week because that was their one chance to get a win at home. Like the play calling is like they're not even trying to be competitive. Like they're running the ball a million times, even like in obvious passing situations. So like it seems like they're literally trying to lose, and I will not lose a single coin betting on them against Ohio State personally.
I can't do it either. And also, like, they obviously didn't do anything special, but Oregon scored that like garbage time touchdown in a situation where you could have nailed the clock out, right?
Yeah,
and they could have covered that game. I don't know. I
mean, they could have covered the game against Oregon if they threw the ball like ever.
Yeah,
like the quarterback had like 3 pass attempts at half. Like there was no attempt.
That's crazy. Yeah, okay. No, I got nothing. I can't bet this game.
Sounds like a stay away. What about Cincinnati at home against West Virginia, 5-point favorites? We need one more win, gentlemen, over 5.5. We need one more. The rest of the schedule is not very easy. At Iowa State, at Kansas State, TCU at home. I really would like for them to get it here. Although I got to tell you, what's that?
By Big 12 standards, that's fucking brutal schedule.
Yep. They took care of business though. Oh no, I'm sorry. West Virginia took care of business on the road last week, winning outright as a 5.5 point dog against Arizona. Arizona's fucking terrible. I'm very sad I didn't pull the trigger on fading them. But back to back
2 weeks ago, or am I wrong?
Yeah, they had a bye last week, I think.
Oh, okay. So going into the bye, they beat Arizona. Okay, so it's not like back-to-back road games in terms of rest and travel. But West Virginia, I don't know if Garrett Green is back. They really didn't do that much. He's out.
Confirmed out already.
They had 16 fucking first downs, dude. That's crazy. It's barely anything, and they scored 31 points. Steak, any thoughts on West Virginia, Cincinnati?
So the backup. So when I went on Ramble, and obviously Jovan could probably enlighten me more since it's a Big 12 quarterback. I think he's going to know more than me. But the backup quarterback for West Virginia, people like him, right? He's like a 4-star kid that they were excited about. I feel like a lot of people wanted him to play over Garrett Green at some point this year. Am I off there?
Probably at the beginning of the season when Garrett Green was kind of terrible, but I don't think it was because they liked Marchiol. It was because
Nico Marchiol.
Bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like Cincinnati, to be honest with you, in this spot. And it's like the exact same spot West Virginia was against Arizona. I feel like people love betting West Virginia as dogs. I kind of like Cincinnati. Yeah, they do need this win. You're right. I think it's tough. The end of the year is tough for them.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit back and hope they get it. Jovan, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what was baked into Cincy win total is that I thought there is absolutely no chance TCU goes in there in the cold last game of the season and beats them. So that's baked in. I don't think they need this win, but you'd love to have it. And I would think they get it. I love this and hate this, but because it's a situation I think exactly the same as the one they faced against Arizona State, just with a little better overall of a team. It's like Jeff Sims was in at quarterback, who's a very heavy running quarterback, just like Marchiol. And I think they got out to like -5, 5.5 in that game. And they looked a little shaky on like the first couple drives. Then they didn't let Arizona State do shit for the entire rest of the game. So like now I would think that off of a bye week, not only did you see it once, but you're also going to be pretty prepared for that, especially after a little letdown in Colorado. So like I would like to say Colorado's or Cincy's to play, but I don't feel incredibly comfortable with it.
It would be a movie script if your Cincinnati win total came down to the last game of the season against TCU.
Yeah, I could see it, honestly.
I think they're winning this week.
I do too.
I do too. Yeah, I'll probably stay away from it, but I do too. All right. I got to say, that was a hell of a noon slate. Good shit. All right. Liberty and Middle Tennessee State, UConn and UAB. Any thoughts on either of these two? We'll make it quick and then we'll keep moving. No.
Fuck UAB.
Yep. Fuck UAB is fine for me. Marshall 14 at Southern Miss. Oh, here's a fucking doozy of a game. Wow. What a good slate here on Saturday. Georgia and Ole Miss. I'm assuming you guys are good on skipping Marshall. Georgia 2.5 against Ole Miss. Wow. Bulldogs are 2-6 ATS. Ole Miss came through for us. Jovan, I don't know if you ended up getting down. I think you leaned Ole Miss last week.
Didn't bet it, but yeah.
This was Steak. You were a big Ole Miss guy. I think I vetoed it from being in the newsletter officially. You played Ole Miss. I played the team total, and I got cute. But I saw your tweet. You're absolutely right. We saw too many pictures of Jackson Dart being out on Halloween, and people fucking throwing their hands up like, whatever, Jackson Dart, you should be watching film and studying the playbook. It's like, no, I think he'll be just fine. And they went out and scored 63 points. Now they're at home, getting 2.5 against Georgia. We've been seeing a lot of these 2.5 point spreads. I feel like for these SEC teams, fuck UAB, fuck Steak.
That was mine and Matt's collab play last week, in case you're wondering. But they did win, but they're still horrible.
I missed the memo. I didn't even. They didn't cover?
They fucking destroyed them. It was the easiest
million.
Yeah.
Oh,
their only good game of the year, basically.
They covered.
Oh, by 1 million.
Oh, so I missed out on a winner. You guys just had this. You had this collab POD, and I didn't even get the memo.
You should follow us on Twitter.
I do. I must have missed it. All right. Anyways, Georgia and Ole Miss 2.5. We see these 2.5 point spreads. I don't really know. I'd like to monitor like how these numbers are doing, which side's covering more, the favorite or the dog. The only one I can really remember off the jump is last week, obviously with South Carolina coming through, but I know there was another one. I don't know if they did Washington. Not in the SEC, obviously, but Washington is a 2.5 point home dog win one. So are we going to see that keep happening with this 2.5 point home dogs? I'm not really sure. I lean Georgia. I got to tell you, I still think, even though getting off to that slow start against Florida, I think Georgia is going to come in there or at least finish out the season in more of a kind of a fuck you mode. So I'm not buying Ole Miss just yet. Steak, I know you faded Ole Miss on the year. We can start with you. What do you think about Georgia 2.5 at Ole Miss?
Well, my under 9.5 certainly comes down to this. I think the next two games, I don't remember who they're against, but one's got to be Mississippi State. So that's
Florida and Mississippi State.
Yeah, so they're winning their next two. So the win total comes down to this. Jovan's going to pitch fucking Florida. God, you're more of a Gator fan than me.
Well,
go ahead.
You know what? One of the reasons is because all of my Florida fans are delusional that I know, and they're saying Lane Kiffin is going to be a Gator.
Yeah, I've heard that a million times.
That's been in the rumor mill. So he's going to the swamp and losing if Flagway plays. But continue.
So I really like narratives, especially with big games, and that's why I think we leaned into Jackson Dart, because the narrative last week was this fucking guy. This is such an unserious program. Lane Kiffin's losing control. They're out partying on Halloween. It's like, bro, Halloween was on Thursday. Like, if it was the night before the game, sure, be mad. But like, I don't give a fuck if a 20-year-old kid is partying 2 nights before the game. I don't care, against Arkansas. So we bought into that narrative. You know what I keep seeing this week? The video of him in the all black fucking eye paint saying, we got to win out. We just got to win out. And every time I get on the TikTok, because I know it sounds stupid, but TikTok's a great place for sports narratives. And they're sucking Jackson Dart's dick again, just like they did at the beginning of the year. And it's just that line over and over again. And then what's the narrative on the other side? Georgia should have lost to Florida. They would have if Flagway stayed in. And how bad was Carson Beck?
Well, I didn't watch the end of the game, but the first half, it was abysmal.
It was, he didn't get any better. The only reason they scored in the second half was because they ran down Florida's throat, warmed down, and then Aiden Warner threw a pick in their own 20 or on his own 20.
So it's safe to say in a 34-point performance win for Georgia, Carson Beck did not look good
at all, ever.
No, he was awful. They were tied. The game was tied with 5 minutes left.
Did he look good in Texas? I did not watch the game.
Yes.
After the first quarter, yeah, really good.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Steak. Continue.
No, that was the next game I was going to go to. The last game, I feel like we were all counting him out. He went into Texas as 5-point underdogs and won outright. So I think Ole Miss is giving me a little bit of fake sharp vibes.
Okay. Jovan?
I was in the same headspace. I want to be in the same headspace because I'm very anti Ole Miss when it comes to bigger games and just in general. I feel like they're overvalued and people give them way too much credit. And I've been on Georgia for a while, but we were talking about this when we were doing season preview stuff. They have Georgia has 2 pods of big games, and the first one was the Alabama game and the Texas game. I thought they went 1-1. Then immediately I thought they were going to destroy Texas, and I went against it and I took Georgia against Alabama, and I regretted it a lot because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I feel like this is the same, so I want to stick with my gut. I think they lose to Ole Miss, and then they go and beat Tennessee by 30.
Damn. Okay. All right. I get the reasoning. Ole Miss is the Penn State of the SEC. Always good. Can never win the big ones. I kind of agree with that.
Funny you say that because I just had that same exact conversation while we were talking about this game. Somebody compared Ole Miss to Penn State in that game that just happened last week.
And I got to tell you, I mean, Steak, we were together. We watched that whole day of football with LSU and Ole Miss. I don't think I actually bet LSU in that game because I didn't have the balls. Steak did. And I watched it the entire time, and I thought Ole Miss absolutely should have won that game. Deserved to win? Not necessarily. But LSU did nothing to impress me. Ole Miss should have won the game, and they lost. And I just feel like if you make that comparison to Penn State, that just makes so much sense. They're just a team that can't win the big games. And maybe you're right. Yeah, I'm
Chat's agreeing with Jovan.
Chat's agreeing with Jovan. Yeah. should be a really good game. 3:30 on Saturday. All right, let's keep moving. Army and North Texas. Oh boy. Army finally playing a sluggish game. I watched this Air Force game a little bit, by the way. The quarterback for Air Force was legitimately, I don't know if he was worse than the Florida backup. I didn't watch him. The backup or the quarterback for Air Force was terrible. Air Force's offense looked like they were like Pop Warner, and I'm not even exaggerating. But the defense showed up. Army is cooling off a little bit here. Didn't cover 17. Well, they didn't cover by the hook, whatever. But 18 points. They won by 17. They're not covering their big spreads. It also depends on where you got the number, obviously. 6 seems short.
Army's quarterback didn't play last week, right, Jovan?
Oh.
No, yeah, he didn't play.
Is he playing this week?
I don't know what the news is on that. I'm not too tapped into Army news, but regardless, honestly, I think North Texas is terrible. That team, I'm tired of seeing them at sharp lines. I'm tired of seeing them considered as a real football program. They're an arena football team, and they're terrible. So,
wow.
Will I get there with Army? I don't really know, but I can tell you I'm surely not taking North Texas.
Okay. Can I just point one more thing out? The total in this game is 63.5. Every single North Texas game since September 14th has gone over. And we're talking totals of 70, 68, 71, 66.5. If Army has their quarterback, 63.5 seems a little short, a little low, I would think, because Army, all they do is score points. No, you think I'm reaching there, Steak?
Yeah, I think you're reaching.
Okay. All right. I'm down to just maybe skip that game because of the injury news. But if I wouldn't overthink it, I'd probably go Army there. Next one's a good one though. Iowa State and Kansas. We need Iowa State to win one more game to hit 7.5. They're at 7-1. This was fucking brutal. This loss to Texas Tech. You guys both, I think, saw it coming. Steak, shout out. I think you played Texas Tech. I don't know if you played them on the money line too.
I did not.
We did hit the under, which was nice, not an official play or anything, but Iowa State's the rest of their schedule is not easy, and I just want one more fucking win. Kansas is terrible. They're 2-6 ATS. 2.5 to me feels a little short, but for what it's worth, Kansas has actually been playing a lot better the past few weeks. 4-point loss on the road to Arizona State, beat the fuck out of Houston, and only a 2-point loss to Kansas State after that. Looks like Kansas is coming off of a bye. Jovan, we can start with you on this one. Iowa State minus 2.5 on the road. What do you think?
Line's incredibly short. Granted, every single Kansas line is incredibly short because they have been sharp every single game of the season. I ain't taking the bait. I don't know if I'm going to go against it with Iowa State because Kansas actually does play them really well, whether they've been good or whether they've been bad. They've played them tough a majority of the time, especially I think the last 2 times they played those games have been weird. They beat them, I think, last year with Jason Bean at quarterback, but I think Iowa State wins, but I'm not incredibly confident in it looking at the line.
I'm good with that. Steak?
I think the line's short as fuck too. I'm also not taking the bait, but I would absolutely not recommend anyone bet Iowa State this game.
Okay. All right. Well, I got to tell you, you got a good read on it last week, so I respect that. I'll probably stay off and just hope they get the win. Shout out Jay Smitty with a follow, Furl with another sub, Bang and Buff Dip with a new follow. Welcome to the board review, and appreciate Jovan joining us Wednesdays, going over the college board every week, and he will be on the Book It Sports channel at 12:30 doing Behind the Lines. All right, we got another one here. Clemson. Our sweet Clemson, man, they really let me down. I mean, that is just an absolute gut punch for someone in my situation with Louisville under wins and Clemson over wins. To lose outright as a 10.5-point favorite. Coming off the bye, looks sluggish, looks slow, look terrible. I mean, go ahead and bet Iowa State. Do it. Creepiest smile. Yeah, good way to say that. Perfect rotation. I think it's Clemson in a fucking rout here. You guys can tell me what you think about the line. I think, I don't love Dabo Swinney. I really don't, but I do have to admit he gets his guys up at the right times. He did it last year when they were at their lowest. They bounced back. They won and covered to finish out the season. Kind of think they do it after a really poor performance at home against Louisville. I think they go on the road, and I think they smash Virginia Tech. I don't even care what the injury situation is for Virginia Tech's quarterback. I would buy the good news and go against my my core values there. Steak, any thoughts on Clemson? Total 52.5.
Do you know the injury news yet, Jovan? Do we know if he's back?
It sounds like both of them are going to be back, but I'm not in the locker room, so who knows?
Yeah.
I'll join you on Clemson if they're both back. I'm not doing it that line's short if they're both hurt, but I think it's implying basically that they're both back, and if they are, I'll take Clemson.
Okay. Jovan?
Yeah, same. If Drones and Tootin are in, I will absolutely get involved with Clemson.
Okay, we'll make a little note there. All right, let's power through the rest of the afternoon slate. Georgia State and JMU 16.5. Does anybody have thoughts? Wow, more good games. Holy fuck.
Nope.
Fucking
These are more good games.
Jeez.
You must love college
Duke,
football.
NC State.
Yeah. Duke, NC State, and Michigan, Indiana. You're a sicko.
All right, but come on, Michigan, Indiana is fun.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you said it. I actually do think these are good games, but you're still a sicko.
All right, I'll take back Duke and NC State. I will.
No, it's going to be awesome.
Michigan, Indiana, I can't do it. But I just have to tell you something real quick. Can I just take a second and just talk about Michigan? A brief second, because I hate Michigan, being a Notre Dame fan, and we have some Michigan homers in here. I mean, no disrespect. You deserved that national championship last year. But Steak, what were we just talking about yesterday in the group chat? How it's so funny that all these Michigan guys that went to the NFL are doing absolutely nothing. Roman Wilson's a joke. Oh, that's how it got started, because the Steelers.
Greg's mad about Roman Wilson.
Yeah, Greg's mad about Roman Wilson. Blake Corum, you don't see him doing anything. Obviously, J.J. McCarthy with the verdicts out there. I don't know if anybody.
No, what did I say about J.J. McCarthy?
I forget.
Soon to be the best quarterback in the NFL. Just wait on it.
Yeah, right, sure. Anyways, I mean, this team sucks so bad after winning the national championship. The guys aren't doing shit in the NFL. 14.5-point underdogs at Indiana is just a beautiful sight to see for a Michigan hater like myself. So I just wanted to take a second and just say that I am enjoying every second of this. And with that note, Steak, you've had the read on Indiana. You have had no problem doubling down even after they've gone over the 5.5 win total. How do you feel about 14.5 here at home?
I think that there's teams come along every once in a while that you absolutely shouldn't fade, and it's every week. You should not fade Indiana. I don't think this is the spot here as 14.5-point favorites to blue blood Michigan, but I think you're crazy as hell if you're still fading Indiana, respectfully.
Somebody asked, is Indiana 8-0 ATS? I believe they're 8-1. The only cover was week 1 against FIU.
Yeah, they're fucking rolling.
That's insane.
Jovan, do you agree there? Total 49.5. I
agree. I don't fade Indiana, but I also do not fade 14.5 or 2 touchdown-ish dogs. So for that reason, I'm out.
Florida, Georgia, same number. They were able to cover.
I hate to be this guy, and I'm sorry I'm even saying this, but if Michigan covers to me, I actually think they would have a chance to win.
That's actually pretty well said. Yeah, I could agree with that, which would have to be just like Indiana slipping up, I think. They haven't done it all year. They're kind of due for it. I could see it. Or maybe a bad type of matchup, whatever. Duke, NC State. Obviously, you guys don't care for that game. I think it's a little crazy to see NC State as a 3-point favorite. Unfortunately, it seemed like we had a little bit of life for NC State to get over their win total. And then I was reminded that they are 5-4 on the season. But they're
getting it going, though, for how horrible they looked. I'm not throwing parties because they beat who did they just beat? I know they beat Stanford. Yeah, I'm not throwing a party for beating Stanford. Cal's not the worst win ever. I know they were double-digit favorites, but they're getting it going a little bit. And a little bit of the end of that Duke game made me think the party might be over for Duke. So I'm just going to toss that out there.
You know what?
Go ahead, Jovan.
Some weird thing that I've been kind of noticing. Every team that's played close with Miami, which I'm giving that credit to Duke because they're winning that game, I think, in the fourth quarter or late in the third. The next week they cover. Everybody not named FSU. So like Cal did the same thing. They went and covered against Pitt. Louisville did the same thing. They went and beat Boston College. Like this, it's been a next week trend.
That's interesting. Consider this a stay away from me then.
The next week trend. Say that again, Jovan. I missed the very beginning of that.
The teams that played close with Miami, which again, like Duke did lose by 20, but that game was close late. They're covering the next week.
That is a little interesting. I don't want to do it, but I lean NC State here, and I just want to tell everybody about an experience. And obviously, thank you, Steak. NC State. I was on my way to work. I was on the ferry, and I was telling Steak I was looking at some lines because I had a pretty short card, and I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like pressing some buttons on the noon slate. I looked at NC State. I thought the total looked a little short, and I was like, I can't believe they're 9.5-point favorites against Stanford. And I know Stanford isn't good, but NC State has been fucking terrible this year. And then I looked at the opener. They were 11.5 or 12.5 opener, and money was coming in on Stanford, which I thought made a ton of sense. And Steak, what did I tell you? I said, I think Stanford is going to get fucking shut out. I might play Stanford team total under. And you said, if you like NC State, why not just play NC State? And I was like, yeah, you're right. I mean, they're going to fucking score more than 9 points. And sure enough, Stanford goes over their team total, and NC State scores 59. So thank you. Sometimes don't overthink it. I get cute way too much. Don't get cute. Don't overthink it. Just play the team that you like in that spot. All right, Jovan, you bring up an interesting point with this trend. Maybe I'll stay off, but I do like NC State there. More good games. More good games. San Jose State, Oregon State. I don't have any thoughts, but I'd like to talk about Colorado, Texas Tech real quick. Steak or Jovan, do you have anything on San Jose State?
No.
Okay. Let's maybe pour one out for Cornfields. Cornfields had Colorado under 6. He's holding on for dear life with a push. W Cornfields. Colorado's a little bit better than everybody expected them to be. 3.5 point favorites on the road in Texas Tech. I got to tell you, dude, this Texas Tech team, they came out swinging against Iowa State. Iowa State adjusted and shut them down. I was pretty impressed, but they showed a lot of fucking dog and a lot of fight. I'll give them credit. I respect Texas Tech, but I sort of kind of want to fade a team after they just won as a double-digit dog outright. Why are you laughing?
No, don't worry about why I'm laughing.
If you're laughing at a chat, you got to tell me what you're laughing at.
Carry on.
All right. Well, I want to fade Texas Tech, and I want to take Colorado. I think getting the hook at home for Texas Tech is a little bit of bait. I don't think anybody still respects Colorado enough. Maybe I'm way wrong. Steak, go ahead.
I do not bet Colorado games, but if I did, I'd join you. I certainly lean Colorado.
Okay. That's short, sweet, and to the point. Jovan?
Probably would join you too. I'll say, I think for me, like Texas Tech getting the upset is kind of canceled out by now everybody's talking about Colorado contending for the Big 12 championship, and they're coming off of a bye. So that would kind of scare me off and kind of balance the scales a little bit. And the fact that all these 3 to 3.5 games that bounce back and forth have very conveniently landed right on 3. So for that reason, I'm out. But I don't want to back Texas Tech after the upset either.
Okay. Fair enough. Steak, did you have something else real quick?
No, but this is what I was laughing at. I can't see shit, bro. I'm trying to like read the lines on the screen. I need glasses so fucking bad.
I know. No, I noticed when you're in here, you're always going like this.
Dude, I can't see anything.
Do you have your brightness up?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I wear blue light glasses because my eyes start to get blurry when I stare at a screen for too long, but maybe you need to get your eyes checked.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving. Kennesaw State, UTEP, Temple, Tulane. Does anybody have anything on this? If not, we'll keep moving.
No.
Okay. South Carolina, Vandy is an interesting one. Talk about
that's an awesome game.
Yeah, talk about fucking fading a team off of a big win. South Carolina beating Texas A&M. I honestly didn't see it coming. I got a late lean Steak. I think I texted you. I was like, I got a weird feeling at South Carolina tonight. I didn't have the balls to play it, though. I respect Texas A&M and Colin Klein enough. Kind of like what they're doing over there. Vandy with the hook. Does anybody want to do it? I think this team just continues to fucking defy odds, man. 8.5 point dogs at Auburn. I couldn't believe that was the case. They went outright. Thoughts, Steak?
This is not a spot out of all the spots that I've tried to get cute and fade Vanderbilt. This isn't one of them.
Wow. Okay.
At
home as an underdog, getting the hook. You know they're going to be trendy, but South Carolina also coming off of that big win. Jovan, would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I don't fade Diego Pavia as a dog. I kind of like, I think the lines moved down a little bit, but I'll go against it. I like points. You got 2 running quarterbacks, which maybe you're buying a little high on Sellers because everybody saw what he could do on the ground last week against A&M, but two teams with really weird offenses that I think are tough to stop at times. So I feel like we get a back and forth game.
I saw one very funny political tweet that I'll just share because it's relevant to this game. But somebody said, I'm voting for Trump because I want Diego Pavia to get deported. That was pretty funny. Jacksonville State, Wagons, 10-point favorites on the road against Louisiana Tech, 55.5. Steak, are you going to lean into Jacksonville State here? I think you took them last week.
Nope.
Okay.
Not fading them either, though.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Jovan, anything?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Arkansas State, Louisiana, Western Kentucky, New Mexico State. Nothing jumping out to me. Anybody else? Okay. Mississippi State, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, and TCU. We're in the 7:00 slate now. Slate. Tennessee looks like a big number, 5-3 ATS, but are they covering these big numbers? Let's see. Didn't cover 17.5, didn't cover 14. I guess they covered early against Chattanooga and Kent State, but haven't been covering spreads lately. Maybe that's a lot of love and a lot of respect. Could Ole Miss, or I'm sorry, not Ole Miss, could Mississippi State be dead after oh no, they beat UMass. I thought they were in a little bit of a dogfight there at first, but it looks like they pulled away.
They actually were.
They were, right? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not crazy.
They pulled away.
Either of you guys have anything on these two games, Steak?
I don't think the spread is weird at all. Mississippi State is bad. I know they cover some spreads, but they lost to Toledo. They got absolutely abused by Florida. They're very bad. They have stayed in a couple of those games against Texas A&M and Georgia that you don't expect them to, but I don't see how you can make the spread less. I wouldn't be shocked if Tennessee covered, though.
All right. Jovan?
Well, you know what I got to say, because I did the same exact thing when Tennessee was getting ready. Like, they played Florida and they're getting ready to play Bama after they lost and all the pressure was on to get themselves together before that week. I'd be lying if I said I wanted to bet Miss State, but kind of feels like a similar situation where they're not coming off a loss, but you better make sure you get your shit together before Georgia comes into town, potentially a fired up Georgia if they lose this game next week. So I ain't taking Tennessee.
Fair.
Very fair. Okay. And how about your Horned Frogs? 10.5-point favorites feels like a fuck ton of respect. I know Oklahoma State stinks, but and I think did TCU cover or did they push last week? Because you said weird.
Lost by
they pushed.
3.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching
guess how it ended on a walk-off field goal.
You said weird shit happens when those teams play. Thoughts on the Horned Frogs, 10.5-point favorites?
I honestly think the line's short, to be honest with you. TCU, they were touchdown favorites against Texas Tech at home. 3.5-point adjustment for Oklahoma State feels a little short, I would say. I don't know.
But Oklahoma State was on the road at BYU and almost won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were 9.5-point dogs in that game.
Point. I don't really put BYU though in the same, because BYU, there's tweets about like how they would be dogs on a neutral field against Virginia Tech. So I feel like they're kind of irrelevant for Vegas odds.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, the market's not respecting them very much, are they?
Yeah, they don't respect them. They respect TCU for whatever reason, especially when they play at home. So like I was honestly expecting a little closer to like 12-13. I'm surprised that we're not getting that, but I'll tell you what I took away from last week's game. The run defense was better for a little bit, then it fell off the face of the earth again. So like it's not going anywhere. So I think it's an Ollie Gordon masterclass. TCU probably wins by like a touchdown, but I'd be shot dead before I'm taking TCU minus double digits.
Fair enough. Steak, would you concur?
Yes.
Okay. More good games. What a fucking day of college football. UCF and Arizona State. 3-point dogs on the road. UCF. Arizona State's been great this year. I got to give them their credit. Steak, you've been in love with UCF, but I think you're done.
I'm done. If anything, I'd go Arizona State.
Okay. Jovan?
Yeah, I'm not betting on UCF. They had their one good game last week because they played Arizona and put up 60.
Right. That's right. I think we looked at that game and we said, wow, I can't believe UCF is 6-point favorites. But then we also said, well, Arizona's fucking terrible.
Arizona's
bad. Oregon and Maryland. Dare I say this line is short?
I'd give you this line being short before I gave you 38 in the Purdue-Ohio State game being short for sure.
Okay. That's very fair. Man, 25, that's it with Oregon at home.
It feels a little baity. I'll give you that. Like, you definitely think Oregon should win this game by 4 touchdowns.
I mean, dude, Maryland is traveling across country.
Not that good.
They're not that good. They're 3-5 ATS. I don't know. I expect a little bit more, maybe 27.5, 28. Doesn't sound like you're betting anything though, Steak. Jovan, are you betting anything in this game?
No, nothing for me. Maryland is terrible.
No Scatabo potentially, by the way. Okay, thank you, Matt. Okay, Florida State, Notre Dame. I mean, look, I said it. And we've kind of put our money where our mouth was. Pretty good read on Notre Dame this season in the sense that their offense has clicked after that bye week. Came through for us against Louisville, 6.5-point favorites. Then after the bye, we took the team total over against Stanford. They scored 49, didn't touch them against Georgia Tech, and then played them 13.5-point favorites on a neutral against Navy because that line was insane. So 3-0 betting on Notre Dame this year. We love to see that. Do we want to get greedy and get involved a little bit more? Personally, I do not. But I will tell you this. I do think Notre Dame is going to be out to make a statement every single week. I do think that their offense is clicking. The play calling is getting better. Riley Leonard looks better. Even still with the injuries on defense, though, the defense looks locked in. Florida State is fucking terrible. I think that Florida State team total under would be a play here. But maybe, Steak, you're going to talk some sense into me and say, why not just play Notre Dame? Any thoughts on this game at all?
Florida State is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
They're absolutely terrible. And I mean, I now at least can say I feel like everyone's accepted it, but it took a long time for people to accept that this is one of the worst big schools in college football. So, yeah, I wouldn't tell you to get cute with team totals. If you think Notre Dame's going to whoop their ass, which I do, I would just take Notre Dame.
Okay. Jovan?
Yeah, I think they're going to whoop their ass, but I do have a weird feeling that it's going to be a little scary early, which part of that's just because Notre Dame always does that against shit schools.
Always.
But I feel like you're going to get the weird, like FSU comes out and scores first, and then Notre Dame puts up like 40 unanswered or something like that. I kind of gut feeling think this game is going to find a way to sneak its way over.
I could absolutely see it. Absolutely see it. That tends to happen in Notre Dame too. When they play teams where it's like it makes so much sense for it to go over, it sneaks over. So much sense to go under, it sneaks over. Here we go. As Dak Prescott would say, another fucking 2.5 spread here for an SEC matchup. Alabama and LSU. Lord have mercy. What a day of college football. My goodness. And they picked a terrible time to schedule it on my anniversary week, our anniversary weekend. Total 58.5. I got nothing. Jalen Milroe Heisman ticket is still sitting in my dresser, my drawer. I got the physical ticket from Vegas. I haven't ripped it up yet. I probably should, but I don't know. These two teams play. There's fireworks. I'll never forget last year when Jane Daniels was in. I mean, Jalen Milroe, that's where my jaw dropped because he just couldn't be stopped. But that was more of a testament to how bad LSU's secondary and pass defense was. We'll switch it up. Jovan, any thoughts on Alabama, LSU?
Brian Kelly, to me, has already got his big game win at home. So I definitely don't want to go right back to him again. But could I interest you on both teams coming off a bye, a first half under?
Ooh, maybe. Yes. I think I could get down with that. Steak, what do you think about that?
I never play those, but I will definitely join you guys because my initial lean in this game was the full game under.
Ooh. Okay. And do you think that's just because most people are going to see this matchup and think points?
Yeah, for sure. And I think both coaches are going to see this matchup and say their key to winning is stopping the other team's quarterback.
Okay. Last time Alabama came off a bye, they smoked Georgia in the first half. Interesting.
Also, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't say these seem like the kind of games Brian Kelly wins. Oof. They're back to no one believing in them again. And then I feel like right when people started to believe in them, they jumped out to a lead against Texas A&M and got their ass whooped, or beginning of the year, people believe in them and they lose to FSU last year or USC this year. And I think it's back to not thinking that they're as good as Alabama or that he can't win this game. And we were right. I was right about it with Death Valley against Ole Miss. I know Alabama's a different beast, but yeah, I kind of like it.
You know what I hate too? If I were to be an LSU backer, I hate that they haven't played a game since that Texas A&M game, which obviously you have like a bye week and a bunch of practices in between, but nothing could go right in the second half of that game. They haven't had any time to kind of fix that live game action since then.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing to be contrarian. This is strictly contrarian because it's pretty stupid, but Marcel Reed doesn't pass. And they literally couldn't stop him when they knew he was going to run the football. And now who are they playing this week? Yeah. And I'm not saying Jalen Milroe can't pass, but he's absolutely a mobile quarterback who runs a lot. Right. They got to get right. That's just the way where my brain's taking me. But my favorite bet is the under.
I see what you're saying. They also saw Marcel Reed. So now they're probably going to be a little bit more hip to defending a mobile quarterback. And their defense is better this year than it was last year for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more games here. We'll finish strong, guys. Thank you very much. I know we're running a little late here. We'll shut it down.
I actually got to go after. I'll talk about Oklahoma, Missouri, obviously, because I'm regretfully a Missouri backer, but then I got to go B Corp.
That's totally fine. Jovan, you got to get going too. It's 12:07. Let's just power through this real quick. No thoughts, just spreads. Oklahoma, Missouri. Steak.
So I don't have a thought. I wanted to talk about it, but I can't figure out who's the grosser side in this because they've both been really, really horrible.
I think Drew Pine is playing. I would assume that with the line flip. So I think Mizzou automatically would be the worst side.
Drew Pine is playing quarterback for Missouri.
Makes sense why they're dogs because
I have to play Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think maybe. I think I do too.
He's bad. I'm not even overthinking that. Okay, Jovan, do you agree?
You hear that, Primer?
Yeah, Primer collab on Oklahoma. We're pretty good at those, except against Texas. That was terrible, but we got it back with Ole Miss. Nevada, Boise State. I'm not touching anything, but Steak, I feel like you're leaning into Boise and they're coming through for you. Do you like them here?
Nah.
All right, Jovan.
Nevada. I'll be on them.
Okay, good shit. Washington, Penn State. Dare I say Penn State? This is the type of game James Franklin wins by 30. But Washington has my respect. They have my full-blown respect, but I like Penn State here. Steak?
It feels very obvious of a bounce back to me.
Ooh, okay, fair enough. Jovan?
It's the whiteout game. So it's the designed, I guess, bounce back for Penn State or the scheduled bounce back. So I won't be fading them, but I can't bet them either.
Okay. Man, nobody agrees with me there, but you're right. You guys make good points. Virginia Pitt. I'm not fading Pitt. We faded Pitt. We got away with it. I'm good with it. We didn't get away with it. That was an ass.
Yeah,
great time to fade Pitt. I want nothing to do with him here. Do you guys want to pass on this?
I lean Pitt for sure. This is the bounce back that seems less obvious to me against. Doesn't Virginia cover a lot?
5-2, 5-2.
Yeah. Pitt for me.
Okay, Jovan.
Yeah, it feels like the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit for UVA, so I do lean Pitt. They're a little bounce back.
UNLV, Hawaii, Fresno Air Force. I got nothing. You guys have anything? Nope.
Hawaii.
Okay. Hawaii. Okay.
If Javon's telling you to back Hawaii in Hawaii, I think we should do it.
Okay. BYU 4 on the road against Utah feels a little short to me, but Utah still gets line respect because of Kyle Whittingham, no matter who the quarterback is. Total 40.5. Any thoughts?
And we
on
just
that?
said BYU gets none.
That's true. Yeah, maybe it's BYU. Don't overthink it, Jovan.
Yeah, I'm not betting on Utah or fading BYU. Feels like it's probably going to be a close game for no reason, weird game, and then BYU wins by a touchdown late to cover, something like that.
All right, good shit. Last game, Utah State, Washington State. Any thoughts? I got nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right. Gentlemen, this was awesome. I'll let you guys go. Steak, appreciate it. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at SteakFriend 2A's. Jovan, appreciate you as well. Behind the Lines running at 12:30 on the Book It Sports Twitch channel. Appreciate you guys. And Jovan will be tuning in later. Steak, I'll chat with you later. Enjoy the rest of your day, and let's stay dialed in on college football. We've had pretty good reads from here. Thank you guys.
For sure. See you guys.
Yep, appreciate
All right.
it.
See ya. Squad Pod. Yep. Beeman, I got a few more minutes here. Again, thank you to Jovan and thank you to Steak. Why is Missouri a dog? Yep. We just talked about it. W's. And thank you guys for hanging out, by the way. I know just from a numbers perspective, definitely the audience on Wednesdays, you guys are tuning in a lot to obviously your Jovan and Steak go through college, and I feel like the results have been there. I feel like we're doing a pretty good job. NFL has been shit for us, the degenerate this year, but college football has been doing really well. I think we're 38-18-1. So here's the link to the newsletter on the website. Subscribe for free. Thank you everybody who is paying and contributing and pledging some money to support us. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you everybody on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Let's do a quick squad pod here for the gang, and then we'll shut it down. My voice is also getting incredibly or my throat's getting incredibly dry. All right. Oh, there is some college basketball today too. Jeez. I mean, it's just a lot in the sports betting world. I don't even know there's not enough time to fucking go through all this. We just need a full-time show, the Degenerate Network. We just need somebody to pay for it and a studio, because never forget, Greg said he would be happy to chip in, and then he says all he has is $100 a month. All right, Wagner and Rutgers, W kid for daycare, by the way. NHL system play tonight. Talk dirty to me, Xander. Who the fuck is it? Thank you for keeping me hip to those because the system so far has been great. And shout out Hovey. I did not realize he has a similar system with the first period over. I've been doing the full game over. It sounds like the first period is having success as well, but I wanted to give him his credit and not seem like I'm jacking any sort of swagger. Apparently, he's been talking about this for a while, and I guess I just don't listen to Hovey listen to everything he says that much. If it's not a Knicks game, I'm just thinking like, yeah, whatever. Okay. Caps Preds. No shit. Preds just got shut out. And the Capitals are coming off of a loss. Wait a minute. Are you sure? First period is by far the best. Not even close. Okay, W's. I take your word for it. Oh, they are coming off of a loss. W's. All right, total at 6. I'm going to play the full game over. Doesn't know Parky lives in Drew's garage. Somebody said that before, and that is hilarious. Detroit and Chicago, -125. Nothing for me there. Vegas, 8-3-1 on the year. We love it. Those are my wagons this year. They're not very good on the road, but they are good at home. They are, Jesus, all they can do is win at home. Holy shit, fuck. They haven't won a game on the road. They're going to have to eventually. They're playing Edmonton. Oh, gosh. Do you think Vegas is a trendy dog? I don't think I do. Squad pod. All right, we'll make it in the NBA here. We like a few things. All right. Here we go. Squad pod for your ass. Make sure you vote, please. Also, if you're going to any games, make sure to use SeatGeek. You get $20 off your first purchase. I know I see you guys out there because I'm getting emails from SeatGeek that you guys are using it. Love it. All right, hold on. Here we go. We're going to do the Magic +5 squad pod for the night. Magic +5. Also, don't forget to go read Freddie's write-up. It's on the newsletter. Also, follow him on Twitter. Sorry, not the newsletter. It's on the website, thedegenerateweekly.com. We will also be recording. I'm going to see if Mid-Major wants to hop in for Jake tonight. We're going to be recording the podcast for the board review. DGen players only exclusive meeting to get right in the NFL. 1 and 2 in best bets last week. We just can't find a rhythm. Okay, let's do the Magic. Let's do Golden State, Boston over. Looks like it's 229.5. Let's do the Nuggets. So Nuggets +7. And let's do the Kings. All right, if you had to pick a squad pod for the night, go vote. The poll is up. Brown out and Curry probable? Yeah, no. But I will be playing the Celtics first half because those are my wagons from last year. They're 5-3 on the season, so I'll take it. They won 3 in a row. They lost 3 in a row, but then they've won their last 2. I'm going to keep doing it until it loses me money. But so far, we are in the green. All right, go vote. Please, if you're in here on Twitch, go vote for the squad pod tonight. My vote is officially in. I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for. Ooh, it's a little tight right now. A little tight between the Nuggets and the Boston Golden State over. Cap over, right? Yep, Dre Day. That is the system for the night. Sharps voted for the Magic. Okay. 5 neck and neck right now. Need you to go vote. We got about 20 seconds left. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Go vote. Wow. Okay. You guys are liking this over a little bit more. Oh, nope. Coming back on the Nuggets. Nobody likes the Magic. Nobody likes the Kings. Interesting. I think it's going to be the Kings for me. I'm going to have to play it. DGen. Franz points feeds families tonight. You might be right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Golden State, Boston over 229. That is the squad pod for the night. All right, I'm going to shut it down. Is there anybody who needs a raid? Shout out Forensic yesterday. He's always fun to raid. I'm a big Forensic fan. Oh, we got Owner's Boxes live. Send you guys over to Owner's Box. Tell them I said what's up. Have a great day. Have a great week. It's my last day of streaming. Again, it's my wife and I's anniversary. We're going to head out tomorrow. Got some corp shit. And then we have a Owner's Box Sports. We're going to get out of the city for a little bit. Shut it down. Get a little reset. Some rest and relaxation. I might be at a spa in a robe, drinking some green tea. No caffeine, though, if I can. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Nice. A lot of you joining the raid. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Don't forget, Steak and Style will be running the rest of the streams Thursday and Friday. Take care. Peace.